Actually been going for 4 hours so far. All the part. It's all been wasted.
We can't use it though because we were slagging the listeners.
Aye, we're slagging all 4 of them. 4's generous, 3 of them.
We've got a new listener though this month, so.
Do we? Potentially.
No, Georgia. She's been telling us she's been listening. She did start off with the latest episode, which would have been.
Here, mate. You just dropped something on the floor. It was a name.
Oh well. Fuck's sake. Right, cut this out. No, she did start with the latest episode, which would have been really confusing because if there's one thing we're pretty good at is sticking to callbacks.
Aye, you can't really jump halfway into this and just go, I know everything you're talking about. No, we are shitty neighbours.
We need to start from the beginning.
Aye.
So this is episode 8, I believe.
I think so. It's August.
It's August 19th. We're near the end of August. We really had to get this episode but recorded this week because I think we said Big Ross will be on like the 3rd of September or something. If he can still do it, we don't know. We'll need to get double check with him that booking is in the bag. But,
I also got mixed up with the Rosses. I thought it was another Ross.
He'll be on at one point as well. Yeah. To be fair, they've got very similar surnames as well.
Really?
And they're both funnier than us, so that's
the hits just keep coming.
The hits keep coming. So there's something to look forward to. But you like to have a structure to this, and that we do. Yeah. What is it?
We've accidentally went into a pattern, so we may as well keep it now.
Every third episode's a guest.
Aye.
Yeah, so we had to get this.
So you can ignore the 2 in between if you're only in a guest. Just skip a few.
I'd say the guests are getting better as well because we've had Jameson who.
Bit shite, wasn't he? No.
No. He just knows too much, and luckily he'll back a wee bit. So it was a bit tentative going into that one. We had Pete, who told the greatest joke in the history of the show.
The greatest joke ever told.
The naughty joke. So that was good.
So he's got big shoes to fill. Big Ross has big shoes to Big Phil. Big Phil isn't anybody.
Do we know anyone called Phil?
I don't.
No, well. Don't expect Big Phil anytime soon.
Nah.
So like, even though we've had when was the last episode?
Well, I mean, I think we recorded it halfway through July.
Yeah. So even though we've had quite a lot of time to get this on, my preparation was the A game
on both sides. Aye.
It was only this morning I went, fuck. We really need we need something to talk about.
Don't worry though, we've got plenty now.
We have got plenty. We've got all your favourite segments. A few new ones. But we're even dipping into video games this month. I know we try not to do it, but it was quite.
I've never played a video game before.
No, I never heard of them yet. But I thought that this is the big one.
It's big news.
It's big news.
It's life-changing news.
Especially as a fan of the games as I'm, man, it was shocking news in all honesty. But
so that's coming up.
That is coming up. Don't change that dial to something better.
Aye.
But so in the spirit of rushing this episode,
my ears peaked up.
I've got to call this episode "Getting It Done in the Nick of Time."
Perfect. Excellent.
And music.
Oh, music.
Somewhere here.
No. Turbo. Not many people realise.
Fucking yes.
Not many people realise I put that shit in there.
I didn't until like 4 episodes in or something like that. Because it's so quiet behind the music, man.
Man, we found that perfect tune. It says turbo and fucking yes in it. No. Not hard work.
A wee bit of a spoiler. We are thinking at the end of this series, because this is an episodic podcast, obviously, but in the sense that everything does follow on, as we pointed out, as a callback to not just the last episode, pretty much every episode
is a callback.
One day we'll get Odin on for the first episode. Hopefully the Viking guy and Nick the Dick. We never know. We'll see.
Maybe if we get in the same room.
I could get into injury. But yeah, so we're thinking about how we're going to do this podcast going forward. We did get a bit of ahead of ourselves when we were talking about our 100th episode special a couple of months ago.
Aye,
because that is quite
optimistic.
Well, You never know. Life might be that bad for us that we're still doing 100.
True, actually, yeah.
That's it. Podcast at episode 100.
45 still going, he's a 1,000.
But
Still never had one.
it's still a bit far away.
Aye.
It's 92 episodes away, and at the rate we do podcasts, that could be 2047.
It could be.
So
Could be.
let's focus on this episode, right? I've got a wee bit to get off my chest here because you dick.
Oh dear, what have I done now?
I came up the stairs and I saw something that just made me think of my neighbour.
Yeah, we've got some refuse sitting outside my flat door just now, including a dishwasher. Please don't steal it.
Is that new?
No, it's an old broken one.
I don't know. What did they just saw?
No, so they won't steal it.
I saw the empty boxes and just lost my shit. You know?
Aye. What's she been up to now?
Well, I can't remember how this came about, right? But one time, it was before I took a wee week off work, right? And me and you decided, let's go to Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's around the corner from my house. Let's go to Sainsbury's, get some snacks,
Get some eats.
Aye, so we went round. You had an altercation with a fat dick about queues.
I did. What a wank, man. Everybody knows, like, see, like, these wee Tesco Metros and Sainsbury's tiny wee places and all that shit. Like, there's 2 queues, but there's no really.
Aye.
There's like 1 queue. There's not enough people to warrant 2 queues, right? So there's this big queue for like the tills or whatever, and there's a pillar in the way, and this mad guy walks out into the self-serve. One's broken, and he's like huffing and puffing. He's like, oh, sake. Then he walks back, and you just whisper to me like, do you think he realises there's a fucking queue? And I was like, nah. So I coughed, and I think he clocked then, and I think this is when his plan started forming in his brain of just like, I know how I'm going to handle this. So then like the person at the self-serve walks away, and he just pure boldly steps out in front of like 6 people, and I quite politely went, excuse me mate, there's a queue. And he turned around and he was like, actually, you'll find that's the till queue, not the self-serve queue. And I was like, oh right, well it's going to be one of those then, I suppose. And he was like, maybe you should just learn to read. I was like, what a fucking dick. What a fucking dick.
You didn't tell him to kill himself.
I didn't tell him to kill himself in that instance. It was the guy the guy that in the weeks that followed that walked out in front of traffic when I was trying to drive around and then looked at me as if I was an idiot. He I don't know what he was even shouting at us. He was like, mate, there's people crossing the road, and it's like, aye, but it's a green light. There's cars on the road. So then I just get raging, and I was like, well, if you're gonna walk in front of traffic, fucking die then. Like, you obviously don't have any consideration for your own life. Just people get me riled up, man.
Aye, so it was exciting. Exciting few weeks.
Exciting few weeks.
First, I can't remember what we were talking about. All I remember is saying, like, we were talking. I think at that point we were talking about how she hadn't put her bins in the clothes for a wee while.
Yeah, this is your neighbour.
Back to my neighbour.
Your neighbour, of course, that she never puts bin bags.
I can't remember what her name is. Is it Joanne or what was the other one? I can't remember.
Susan, was
Susan.
it not?
She is Susan because Joanne left and replaced by somebody with a pedo moustache.
Oh yeah, the thin one.
And a very, I can describe her as colourful lassie.
Okay.
She looks like a rainbow. But in their defence, as much as I dislike the moustache and the colours, they don't make any noise, so I've no issue.
That's fine.
I've no issue with them. But Susan, on the other hand, I don't know what we're talking about, but it's like,
is this when we were in the
street? I talked about how the bins hadn't been out for a while, and then I remember us talking about how it was like the Pope. And like smoke goes up, and I can't remember how.
Fuck, so we were.
I don't know how they're connected. I just remember that
was a link.
There was a link somehow.
Aye, fuck.
But anyway, this was the 26th of July. Because I went back and looked at it. Date stamped and everything. I went back and looked at it, and so I went up the stair, and lo and behold, there was some bin bags in the clothes and a bunch of cardboard. Mm-hmm. Now, as we said earlier, today is the 19th of August and the fucking cardboard's still there.
I
hate her. Why? Just move your fucking bins.
Aye.
Now, there has been bins in the close as well, but she's been sort of rotating them out to the back area. So I don't know why she just doesn't take this cardboard as well. It's really...
Yeah, I mean, it's light.
Yeah.
Cardboard doesn't
It's not...
It's soggy as well. You just need to put it in a bit of rain and eventually it will disappear.
Well, we're posturing there a bit. We have got the blue bins and the green bins for
The recycling and all
for
that.
the recycling. Actually, just want to fucking do it. But yeah, so that's like nearly a month now of these things being there. And our idiot, I don't know if it's the same guy, but she has got some guy coming back and staying with her again.
Yeah.
So all they do is smoke weed and put bins in the closet. That seems to be their life just now. And then I'm assuming she still works at that place that we can't go to because she still works there. Fuck her. Just move your bins, man. It doesn't take that long.
No, man.
It doesn't.
And it's causing you some severe mental harm here.
It's causing me mental harm because the other day I got a new fridge freezer delivered, and see, as soon as like the old fridge freezer was ready to go out, I just took it down. I didn't leave it in the clothes for 3 months.
You should have put it. I'm assuming it's a really big, tall cardboard box, aye?
No, the guys delivering it took it out the cardboard box down the street. What bastards, man!
If you could have taken it, you should have put the cardboard box over her door.
Yeah.
So when she opens her door, she's like, "I'm in it. Oh no, where am I going?
I'm trapped." She can't leave her house again.
Exactly.
Man, those guys delivering new fridge freezers, I can't believe they stole the cardboard box. Like, what if I wanted to build a fort or something?
Exactly.
What if I wanted to leave it in the clothes for a month?
People say that cardboard boxes are for transporting goods, but no. Their primary focus.
Know how much Zelda would have loved that massive box, man.
Zelda your cat?
Aye. No, Princess Zelda. Legend of Zelda going to IKEA.
Aye.
To get cardboard.
Just that big warehouse bit at the end.
Right, anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. So
That kind of leads us into.
I wanted to get the negative. I just wanted the negativity out of the way first because we've got some good content for once, you know. Like that.
We do.
So let's get the piss out of the way first. Now you've got a quick flat update.
Quick flat update. Well, I mean, I've got.
Tell us about your flat, Derek. No. You've got a flat earth update.
We've got a
right?
bathroom now in the kitchen.
You've got a quick one.
Aye. It's
then
one.
I've
It's
got-
two slight items.
But I've got something that'll blow your mind
Oh fuck.
about flat earth, man.
Right, I'll touch on one of my things. It was something that, like, I think you sent me a wee while ago, and I got a wee bit interested in it. There's a mad draft prospect for the info.
Not yet.
Oh, is that your bit? Oh.
No, it can be your bit, but go to the other bit first.
What about? Our good friend. So this is we're all aware of Mad Mike Hughes, the self-proclaimed king of the Daredevils. Checked out. Shit, you know, that's he goes by that moniker. He's got t-shirts available now, and they say on there King of the Daredevils.
How many have you ordered?
I've ordered at least 40. It's one of those, like, you know, World Book Day things where you get a big box of books and you just give it to people. I'm spreading the word of the king. But yeah, no, I was trolling through his trolling. I was trawling through his Facebook to see what he's been up to, see if he's alright after his big endeavour a few months ago where he tried to fly a rocket high up in the air so they could see whether or not the Earth was flat or not. It was inconclusive. He needs to do it again. But turns out some big shot publisher is apparently commissioning the autobiography of Mad Mike Hughes. I can't wait. I'll read that up. That'll be great.
That'll be good. Do you say autobiography?
Yeah.
But no, like, I think made for TV movie would be better.
Probably better, yeah. Aye, with
Just
lacklustre special effects.
Just get him to recreate it with a £3 budget.
Aye. In addition to his biography and his upcoming apparel, all his t-shirts and whatnot, he's also getting a stuffed toy made of him.
Oh,
The Mad Mike stunt bunny. I want one.
Is this
so
Christmas
bad.
sorted?
That's it's on the wish list now.
I've got my laptop here, so I'm just going to. I need to see
Get
this
in
Mad Mike stunt bunny.
Mad Mike stunt bunny. Apparently, there wasn't any pictures, but
Oh.
it's in production.
I just wanted to see what this would be. It's back in the day, like you had your Evil Knievel, like
Yeah,
bikes
RC
that you
cars
built
and all
back.
that.
Aye. So
I wasn't allowed them.
why?
Don't know. They just give me a big fuck off, Doug. Mind that robot, Doug.
Callback, see?
Hey,
George, I hope you've listened to the Christmas episode so you get that.
there's a big test in episode 12.
So, that's Flat Earth.
That's my brief flat Earth update. It's not really to do with the flat Earth, but to do with our favourite flat earther. Question mark, because maybe it is, maybe it isn't. He's agnostic to the flat Earth.
Maybe we should look into more.
Yeah.
Like, because I like Mad Mike. He's willing to put the science that he doesn't believe in where his mouth is to try and get answers.
Exactly.
So even though it's a flat Earth agnostic, as you said,
Man, that's fucking accurate.
I suppose yes. We should maybe look at the people who
Arnie.
the people who actually think that no, the Earth is flat. I can't think of any like.
There's no like go-to spokesman really.
There was a rapper a few years ago talking about it, but I can't remember his name. Maybe done some raps about it that we can have a listen to and
spread the word.
And spread the word. But we'll look at that's what we'll do for the next episode. We'll look into like the big flat earthers, do a wee bit of research on them.
Like Big Pharma, but Big Flower.
Big Ross, this is your task for next Monday if you're coming on.
Research.
We need a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation on flat earthers.
At least 7 minutes.
There you go, 7 minutes. I would have said 20, but yeah,
Could you not go easy on it?
It's his first time on. So that's flat Earth, but
there's another Earth.
There is another Earth.
So this is the other kind of story that we've got.
Yeah, I didn't want to entwine the two. This deserves its own discussion.
Something else, man. It's something else. You want to?
No, you go.
So, a chap by the name of Lonnie Walker had a son, and he called him Lonnie Walker the second. And then that Lonnie Walker had another son, and he called him Lonnie Walker the third. And then that son had another son, and he called him Lonnie Walker the fourth. And this Lonnie Walker is an NFL draft prospect, am I right? Or he's like a draft pick?
No, it's NBA.
Something?
It's not
NBA. Sorry. Yeah. He firmly believes that the Earth is a simulation, and that none of this is real. Look around yourself. Do you think this is real? No. Lonnie doesn't, and I'm assuming neither does his dad and his whole line. But he's really adamant that, like, see, I don't understand that even at that. If you're really adamant that the world is a simulation, why would you like try then? Like, if you're that convinced.
See, there is a lot of theories about simulation theory. I've heard a few people talk about it, right?
Elon Musk is in it, apparently.
He's a fud though.
He's Lex Luthor.
Nah, Lex Luthor doesn't use slurs like Elon Musk does. I don't think Lex Luthor's ever called Superman a paedophile.
Maybe no.
No, I don't.
I mean, bit of headline though, wouldn't it?
I suppose you
Superman's a pedo.
Superman's a pedo. Right, so first of all, if the Earth was a simulation, how would you end up with the shittiest name of Lonnie Walker the Fourth?
Whoa.
Lonnie's no
Shitty
that
parents.
Lonnie's no that good a name that you need to pass it down.
I know.
It's like 4 times as well.
Like Johnny Walker, sound as. Lonnie Walker, no.
It's maybe just a typing error.
They're Australian, so I mean that could be an Australian name. I'm not going to try an accent. It's not going to go well.
The only Australian name I know is
Although,
Crocodile Dundee, to be fair. So.
Aye. Crocodile Dundee the second. Do you know what's funny though? Say, can you do an American accent?
No, I can't do any accent.
Apparently if you say rise up lights in an American accent, it sounds like razor blades in an Australian accent.
Possibly.
Rise up lights.
What the fuck accent was that?
That was meant to be an American one.
You've been to America? Who spoke like that?
Mate, I mean...
That's like one of those shitty you type into a computer and it speaks back to you things. Rise up lights.
Fucking yes.
Shh, don't give away the secrets. That was a woman
that was
that
my
came
pal.
in. Aye, a woman came in and done that. she was a big fan.
But yeah, no, simulation theory, it's a strange one. It's like you've changed the binary scope of the world from being round or flat, and you've just thrown up your wild cards in there.
You have. I've got a quote from him that I found quite...
Oh, if you will, Bold Lonnie.
For Bold Lonnie, which I found quite stupid, but let's see what you get. When you talk about facts and things of that nature, it's amazing to me we've discovered so much about this world, yet we don't know anything about this world.
I'm assuming he's flipped himself.
The Earth is not flat, in my opinion, but the Earth, on my conspiracy, the Earth is definitely an illusion. Now, to be fair, he is saying it's just his opinion, right? Which is fine. He's not trying to say this is definitely happening. He's saying in my opinion.
He's no punting it.
But if you're going to say that, I would like at least something to tell us why you think that.
Aye.
You know, right?
Yeah.
There is a lot about that we know about the world. That's true. There's also a lot we don't know, but that doesn't automatically mean it doesn't exist.
Aye.
It's like,
Aye.
I don't
How
know.
do you know it's real, but well, like I can see it and I can feel it. Aye, but how do you know that what you see and what you feel is actually there? It's like, do you know what? I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and just assume that it is.
Yeah, this is. I went into this and it wasn't so much simulated the Earth, but I suppose it would have been. But in philosophy at college, we spoke about that. Like,
Yeah,
how do you know this is real? Like,
Aye.
how do you know this is? And I suppose we don't. You know, you just need to.
We don't, but I mean, nobody jumps to the obvious in quotes conclusion that it's no real.
See, in my opinion, right, I'm going to say this. I think that if out of the two, flat Earth and simulation theory, if I had to say one was more likely to be real, it would be simulation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's enough to show that the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah, there's enough evidence to say that the Earth isn't really flat.
Aye.
There's not any evidence to say it's not a simulation, but that's the beauty of that theory, I suppose, that it could be.
I'm kind of sad that he's not into flat Earth though, because he plays basketball and just go there with his flat basketball. It's no bouncing. don't know what's
I'd
going
like
on.
to think that he thinks that the world is a simulation, but it's a simulation of a flat Earth. Like he's doubling down. Like
He's like, I'm going to imagine Flat Mike is Flat Mike. Was that
I know he
not
took a tumble when it came down, but
Does Flat Mike know that? Remember that Levi's advert for the 90s with the yellow puppet? Was that not Flat Mike? No, that was Flat Eric. Flat Mike was him when he hit the earth.
Flat Mike.
Mad Mike, I apologise to you, Mr. Mike.
You going to read his book? I'm going to
I
read
might.
his book. I might. It'd be fucking interesting.
One of these episodes, maybe the last episode of the series, will just be us taking turns reading chapters for his book.
I'd listen to that.
Where do you think it stops off at? When he hits the ground? Or
Where do you think it begins?
will we find out if he had Obamacare or not?
Mike, you alright? Mike, you okay? Come on, tell me your mom's talking.
Talking of Obamacare, right, but not really.
Oh, right.
Talking about the NHS. I saw this guy, I think I might have ranted to you about it the other day,
Aye.
on Facebook, complaining that like certain people were getting treatment on the NHS because he decided that what they were
getting was pure
was
frivolous.
frivolous and shouldn't be paid for. And
Like what?
I can't remember. They ended up paralysed after doing something stupid, right? I can't remember what they done, but they done something they shouldn't have, and then they ended up like paralysed because of it.
Right.
And fucking paramedics didn't just go in and go, no, you done this yourself, and left the person. They took them in the hospital like right bastards. you know?
Fuck's sake.
What?
How inconvenient.
I know. What were they thinking? Obviously, they should have known that Dave Dickhead on Facebook could have been raging. I don't know if that was his name. Probably not.
Dick David.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent. Dick David. But this guy was just ranting around like, oh, my taxes shouldn't pay for this, blah 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 blah. And it's like, mate, that's not how taxes work.
Aye.
Like,
Don't know how connected, mate.
I just assumed he was a Tory. Like, but just people are better off than some other people. People are worse off than some other people.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dickhead and
Just
think you should dictate how they. Because I don't have.
Although
ways.
in saying that though, see, like I think Tash told me about one where this girl had like so much ridiculous stuff done to her face, like kind of like plastic surgery or whatever, and like all this Botox somewhere, and like it ruptured or something like that, and basically her face just completely paralysed. But it wasn't gonna last for ages. It was just because there was too much Botox or whatever was in her face, and she went to A&E and was like, my face is all seized up. Do I do something? And they were like, no, fuck off. No, you did this to yourself. You'll be fine. Just wait a few days.
Aye, but like that's different from being paralysed.
Aye,
it's not as if you can just say you'll be fine a couple of days.
A few days.
Just go and lie down. Yeah, right, cool. Yeah, aye. If something's
If it's
going
serious shit, then like, yeah, totally pay for it. But if it's shit that you've done to yourself,
aye, if that's
you're fine anyway. Then fuck off.
aye, if you're going to be alright in a couple of days, that's fine. But if you're like severely injured, you can't just go no.
Aye.
I can't remember what she'd done. It was something stupid, right enough, and I did think, oh, I was a wee bit silly doing that. But at the end of the day, you can't just decide who gets help and who doesn't, because you're a prick. That's not how it goes, right? But anyway, that's a rant for another day.
Fucking down with the Tories, eh?
Well, remember we used to be about anti-Tories?
Big David.
Remember, no, I don't know why I said remember because it only happened today, but the Tories are in uproar.
Oh, really? How come?
The Brexit cunts are raging because the guy who owns Superdry, Dave Superdry, donated £1 million to an organisation that's trying to get like a second Brexit referendum on the go. So all the Brexit cunts are going, oh, we're never going to buy Superdry again. I thought Superdry was more the...
I thought it was more like a Labour thing, to be honest with you. Thought the Tories were going to, like, you know, slayers.
No, I thought Superdry was more like a working class thing. Let's just say more than who I've seen wearing them in the past. It's not really like fucking tweed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, wool patches and Superdry.
Imagine, mate, that'd be the hot selling item of the summer.
That's how you win them back.
A waterproof jacket.
You bring out the December collection. Do you want a jacket with hunters or zips and wool patches? I've got you sorted.
I would like that. Aye, that's pretty good.
That's your Christmas sorted then. I'm getting a boot, you're getting a jacket.
And a stump bunny, whatever the fuck whatever the fuck that is.
I hope it's got batteries in it.
Nah, that's where they get you, man. That's how you ruin Christmas mornings, by selling stuff with no batteries, and you need to hope that a corner shop's open so you can go and spend £16 a packet of batteries. You know. Anyway, let's move on to our next update.
Aye.
Another staple of the podcast, the XFL.
Yes, big XFL news,
big
man.
XFL news.
So there's 8 teams that are apparently proposed for the XFL season. One has already dropped out.
Yeah, it turns out that you need a stadium, and they weren't going to have one. So there will be no Oakland in the XFL.
Oakland are out because there's a big scheduling thing with their, like, is it the Oakland Raiders? Is that
no? They're moving to Vegas, man.
They're moving to Vegas, right?
So there's their baseball team, who are the Athletics, apparently.
That's a shame, man.
It is, aye. So apparently the groundsman of whatever the stadium was, AT&T Stadium, I think, went, we need to get the baseball grass sorted out, and you're running about in it. Won't help that. Won't help. They start sorting out the baseball grass in December or something like that, and they have given us some information there to go on.
Oh,
so the season will start in February.
Yes,
just after the Super Bowl,
and it'll run for 10 weeks.
10 weeks, and will end in April before the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So we're getting some.
It's happening.
It is happening. It's all coming. So they have had their setback, but apparently the list of teams who will be taking part is coming out this month. So we will be able to put our 8 names in a hat and draw one. We just know it won't be Oakland. Though
I found a wee nugget of info. Apparently the most viewed team from, like, when it first was around, like 17 years ago, was the San Francisco Demons.
Yes.
So I'm hoping they're there again.
Well, this is the thing that I think the 49ers play in that stadium now.
Oh, so probably not then.
So maybe not. But they did get that. I saw this as well. They got 35,000 fans a game. That's fucking insane. That's insane. But if that's their biggest market and they've got to be in it, they're kind of California was their biggest market, and now they're kind of fucked. I don't know enough about American football to know if any of the California teams are any good. So I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm assuming the Raiders aren't, since I've been moving to Vegas. But it's coming. The XFL is coming, and we can't wait. We're on we should get a countdown. We should start a website with a countdown to the XFL starting.
Has the XFL started? No.
I still not heard much about this other one. That other guy's starting.
Yeah, I mean, I say what you will about Vince McMahon, but at least we know about that one a wee bit. This one doesn't even have a name.
No, doesn't have a name, but it does have a TV deal.
Aye.
So it's in a way, it's still way ahead of the XFL, which is still.
See if they both, like, fuse their efforts, you'd have, like, something tangible there, but no.
Possibly, but I think the guy who's running the other one hates Vince McMahon too much to do this. So
I'll probably set him back then.
Yeah. I want to bring up something that I forgot to bring up last month. I know we like to dabble in politics every now and then.
Yeah.
But fucking
no, really?
Hingy's back.
Who's that?
Call him? The free speech cunt.
Tommy Robinson?
No, the Scottish guy who went to court.
Oh, Dankgill.
Dankgill is back with all his...
With a brand new edition.
You know, see him and his fucking a couple of other weirdos joined UKIP.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So like,
oh, you're like, take a look at yourself. Like, I'm all for free speech. Yes, moan the whites. You're not making yourself look likeable at all.
yeah. So I think he lost his appeal as well, didn't he?
Dankula.
I think so. I'm just bringing up the story here because there was a few other alt-right cunts who
The one
aren't
they raised,
racist.
like, they raised like hundreds of thousands of pounds so he could appeal this decision, and then
and then they went, no, I wonder where that money went. I'm sure they
UKIP's
donated it
pocket,
back, yeah. So it turns out Dankula's called Mark Meakin in real life. So there's that Paul Joseph Watson guy. Have you seen him?
No.
He's a Prison Planet on Twitter. Complete bellend, talk shite.
Does he also want to suckle on Tommy Robinson's wee man?
Probably. I think he was the guy who originally posted a picture of Liverpool winning the European Cup and like all the Liverpool fans going out to Liverpool to celebrate with them when they came back and said that was the Tommy Robinson
Like support.
support, yeah, like aye, because if there's one thing that Liverpool likes, it's right wing bangers. So yeah, there's Carl Benjamin as well, who's that Sargon of Akkad guy on YouTube.
Yeah,
You've
I've
seen
heard
him?
that name, aye.
Aye. So there's
He also joined you?
yeah, so there's a few joining UKIP. I don't know why, because surely UKIP have they wanted UK out of Europe. That's happening.
I mean, well, we touched upon it a few episodes ago.
they
that
still like it
their
there.
other thing was about getting was it smoking back in pubs?
Smoking back in pubs.
Maybe that's what Sargon and Dankula are really just all about. Down to the nitty gritty of it. They just want to smoke.
Aye. So it's all going British politics just now. It's a complete fucking disaster.
It's a shit show, man.
A lot's been happening as well with the right wingers. I know we pick on the right wingers. It's more because I like laughing at them and just ignore left wingers. But
I mean, there's some daft arse left wingers.
oh
as
no,
well.
there is, but I
Like,
ignore them.
Aye, they're less funny. They're much less funny.
I mean, Alex Jones is going through a rough time at it just now, man.
I know,
He's been kicked off. Is he off Twitter yet?
He's off. I think they suspended his Twitter, but he's off Facebook and he's off YouTube.
Yeah, because I
Turn
remember.
the fucking frogs game, man.
It turns out you can't just harass people for so long and then get away with it. Like whatever your feelings in Sandy Hook is, right? I don't know. It's
pretty horrible.
no, I don't mean like that. I know there's a lot of people who think, oh, there's something a bit dodgy there.
Yeah, he was a big proponent of that, where he said that Sandy Hook was just a false flag and it was all set up
It's
by the
one
FBI.
thing saying that it's a false flag, right?
Yeah,
It's another
have
thing
that opinion.
It's another thing to target the families of them and harass
You
them.
lying bastards.
And it's like,
That's in your IMDb page. Like, aye, if you have that opinion, fine, go for it. You're more than welcome to think whatever you want to think, but see when you actually start harassing people and targeting folk.
yeah.
Oh,
There's another guy, I can't remember his name, but I saw a story last week where he took remember the Unite the Right push in Charlottesville last year? He actually took recorded a video of that woman who got run over by a guy in a car
Yeah, I
and
remember
killed,
that.
and he put it in Twitter, and apparently he got all the abuse for Alex Jones and his cronies as well, accusing him of being a member of the FBI or some fucking nonsense. So that guy's suing Alex Jones as well as the families of the Sandy Hook victims over
defamation or something.
defamation and harassment. Like,
harassment, yeah.
I don't know why I said harassment. I don't know
Harassment.
that. Harassment. And like, but it's alright. They've got their shit hot defence sorted already. They're claiming that under First Amendment of freedom of speak.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech that they can say this.
I mean, to a certain extent.
Well, no,
it doesn't
but-
cover all speech.
Yeah, freedom of speech is not being censored by the government. I don't think some random guy in Sandy Hook families are all fucking the government. Like,
Yeah, no, like if you're using your speech to like
incite hatred.
incite hatred or violence against anyone, then
Yeah.
that's no right.
No.
You're not allowed to do that.
So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because the thing I don't get about Alex Jones, right? We've laughed about this before, is that, in fact, we even hinted about it as you, with the whole when he went to court and he's like, "Oh, this is just a character I play."
Aye.
Yeah, and it's like, why are people still buying into everything that he says? And it's like, I don't get it.
Like, on the one hand, either you're looking at a fucking sociopath that has these really weird, wild tendencies, and you get people following it. They're also fucking sociopaths. Or, on the other hand, you've got a guy playing a character that's a sociopath, and you get fucking sociopaths following him anyway. It's both outcomes are bad.
Yeah, it's just a weird one, man. He's such a prick. And Danknell is a prick because he's on YouTube. Everyone who's on YouTube's a prick. Are we on YouTube?
We're on YouTube, mate. Unfortunately, so aye.
Are we actually?
We are actually, aye.
Fuck.
You can subscribe, like,
with TurboDunters on YouTube.
Aye.
Do all our episodes got?
Aye.
Fuck.
Mate, I'm industrious.
Fuck, mate.
Like, fuck.
Let's have a look. What's our viewers like?
Oh, mate, like 2. If you thought we punted the Twitter, well, like, holy shit. The YouTube is just a fucking... It's a graveyard, man.
I've just looked up, man, and we've only got 3 episodes.
Oh, yeah, I kind of stopped it. Do you know why?
2 views.
It takes an awful long time to render a 2.5 hour video when, like, there's one picture behind it. That's it. It's a picture of Trump.
25 views in the first one, man. That's pretty good. To be fair, that was the fabled Kruger pube episode.
Yeah.
No likes. Nobody. And oh fuck, I was the only one to comment.
What did you say? That's just shite. Not realising it was you
First, because that's not.
Because you've got it.
You've got it.
Do you know what? You still probably get time to go in the other videos and write in first as well.
No likes, no comments, no.
Well.
Anyway, that's as good a time as any to punt the social media.
Yeah, follow us in TurboDunters if you haven't done already. It goes a long way.
We did reach a milestone the other week. I noticed we now have our 8th follower on Twitter.
We do.
So we set ourselves. Hi Colette, thank you for being our 8th follower.
I don't think she'll ever listen to
That's
this.
fine.
Cheers.
But shh.
I want more sex accounts to follow us, man. That'll beef it up.
We don't have any.
We're not even good enough for the sex bots.
In fact, in saying that, they all got purged, didn't they? Know? Because I know a Twitter purge of all the fake accounts. So at least we can say we've got 8 real followers.
Real people, including us.
So, like, follow us at TurboDunters.
We also have our personal ones there as well.
If you want, it's nothing.
It's no worth things. It's no good things.
Not worth following. I will say that we did set ourselves a wee goal. November 2018 will be the 1 year anniversary of Dunt.
Amen. Why is it that, man?
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, because it's a big occasion, man.
a big God
Get a big man involved.
So to mark this, ideally we'd get 12 followers. So we've got 1 a month. But it looks like
we'll settle for 10.
We'll settle for 10. Even if we could get 11, because we might get that for 1 follower an episode.
Point per game.
Because we did try and do 12 in the calendar year, but it's not looking good.
Man, I've got faith.
We've got 3 months to get 2 in a month.
Aye. I mean, it will go a rally like always, but we'll try our best.
Try our best.
Do you know what? We've made it nearly a year. I think that's pretty for me never doing this before, and for you, only kind of chipping in another podcast as far as I'm aware. Like you've no handled the actual hangwaying of it all. No,
I don't have a red hang, mate.
Don't have a red hang. Fuck. Aye, it's gone alright. I'm pleased.
Yeah, it's gone alright. We've got 2 views in the 2 minutes.
What else can you want?
Right, anyway, so we'll dabble back into politics here. Right, we've got our plugs out the way halfway through the episode for some reason. So this was a weird one, right?
What's that?
India.
Fuck, I didn't read this one, but holy shit, the headline, if you just want to read that out, that's something mad, man.
Is this it? An Indian politician is dressed as Adolf Hitler in a bizarre protest against Prime Minister, and I'm going to butcher this name, Narendra Modi.
Aye, that's the headline, because you don't really see that too often, do you?
No.
I mean, it happened with Prince Harry. He dressed up as a Nazi a good few years ago, didn't know?
I don't think it was in that protest against the Indian Prime Minister.
Also wasn't Hitler. Wasn't the big man. I don't know, you just called the God the big man and Hitler the big man. Fuck me, man.
So what ones to follow is on Twitter, God or Hitler? I think I know what one I'd rather know, honestly.
Don't know the answer to that.
So I think the best way to go through this is just
Let's explain it.
Let's explain that, right? So I've taken a wee bit of the story here because I wouldn't remember names or what's going on. But
God, I've just seen a picture of it.
yes, the picture, the headline is accurate to what the story
very
was.
accurate,
There's no like, oh, they just misinterpreted this, you know.
Yeah,
It's
he
like,
didn't just dress up in a Hugo Boss suit and somebody was like, oh, the Nazis made those.
right, so here's from the story. Appearing outside the country's parliament, and again I'll butcher this, Naramali Sivaprasad wore a khaki jacket with swastikas in the pocket and arm and a moustache similar to that of the genocidal dictator.
Yep.
Now, I know you're thinking, well, maybe he wants to be compared to Hitler here, but no, you're mistaken. Apparently, he was saying that the other guy is like Hitler because he promised to provide some funds for the state and then didn't. And in this, the Prime Minister does not get the pulse of what people want, and I want to urge him to not be like Hitler. That's quite the jump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of all Hitler's atrocities, I think not having funds available for certain things was the worst of them.
Yeah.
Aye.
And even then he didn't, because Germany was a fucking shithole before he took over and they got it back in its feet. So that's like the opposite of what Hitler did.
Even looking objectively at Hitler,
yeah,
he did alright for Germany.
Economics wise, he turned the country around.
Aye.
You know, everything else was no the best. We'll say, putting it mildly. So
Mr. Sivaprasad has egg on his face, man. Nazi egg on his face. Because that's the thing. Like, what even is the point? Like, oh, our president is Hitler. I have dressed up like our president. Like, what do you solve doing that? You just...
It just makes you look like a prick.
It makes you look like Hitler. He's went with the tash and all. He's...
I'll say this for him. He went all in it. His message was poor. His comparisons are pretty poor.
The thing is...
But he went for it.
Is Amazon, like, you know, recommendations are going to be completely fucked now? Because he's had to go buy swastika armbands. That taints you, man. You get put on a list for that. And he's got a fucking, like, German cross as well on his lapel. Like, what the fuck?
Man,
Where'd you get that?
Did they win it?
What, the Nazi raffle? I think Dankula was in that one.
Dankula ran it. No, he just follows it. He's no...
They were raising funds for the UKIP party to get smoking back in the pub.
Did we say that we think he lost his case? I was going to look
Yeah,
at that.
I think we did. Dankula lost it.
Dankula lost his appeal. Tommy Robinson...
He didn't. He won his appeal.
Only, like, and Tommy Robinson winning his appeal I'm fine with because
it's not appealing the sentence, it's appealing like how it was carried out or
because
whatever.
the judge did fuck up and I'd only be as bad as pricks like him if I was like, no, but he should still be in jail, but even though like he shouldn't be. Yeah, you know, so that's fine. So what's happening with Tommy Robinson? I thought he was getting another court case. Did he ever have that?
He got an appeal against the current sentence. I'm not 100% in this story. It was a few weeks back. But he got an appeal in his original sentence, and so I think he's in some kind of like detention thing just now, awaiting his new trial to actually determine what he does in prison. Because he's ultimately is serving time in prison. He's still going to be doing that. It's just how he was kind of convicted the first time.
Yeah,
it should have went to like a grand appeals court or something like that, or a grand kind of jury or something. I don't know, but it didn't. And the judge was just kind of like, get yourself in the slammer. So it's purely that he's appealing. He's not appealing the fact that he did anything wrong, because he absolutely did break the law and do something wrong.
And he admitted to it.
Yeah.
Which is something else that people seem to forget.
Yeah. They're like, oh, free your Tommy. Fuck your Tommy.
He went in and pled guilty. Fuck up. It's like, it's no some great stitch up against him, you know. It was like a processing error or something like that. Apparently he's out just now. Yeah, he's in Tenerife hanging about with known...
fucking love my country, man. People should be able to do it. I'm going, well, I'm out of jail. I'm going away for you. Go to Tenerife. Too many Spanish.
Oh, that story.
That fucking FUD. Oh, I'm sure everybody's heard that story as well.
We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, but apparently he's enjoying his time in Tenerife with Lutz Bachmann, who is a German
like a
Islamophobe
prick,
who is known to the police for being a prick as well. So he's not racist, he just hangs about with racist pricks. You know, like Dankula, he's no racist.
He's no racist, but he just hangs about with racist fucks.
Aye.
And joins a racist fucking political party.
And as a cunt.
As a cunt.
Don't forget this. He's such a prick, Tommy Robinson. Like,
Aye.
right. Anyway, so do I touch on this Spain is two for the
Oh my
Spaniards?
god, that's mad. I mean, I'm
story?
sure everybody listening's probably heard this story, but fucking the ridiculousness of some fucking people, man. Like, she goes to holiday in Spain and complains because there's too many Spanish folk, and then says, why can they not go anywhere else for their holidays? It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What fucking, how many stairs did you fall down to get that fucked up a brain? Like,
I think it's like for their holidays, because like obviously Spanish people just spend year round on holiday. They don't
Aye.
work or anything like that.
Nah,
They just leave their house, go travelling for a year, every year.
she was probably raging she didn't go to like a newsagent's and like,
Well, the newsagent's going to get a daily record. Fuck's sake!
fuck.
How am I to know what's happening in River City now? You know.
Fuck's sake.
When I went to Spain, it did piss me off. Last time I went was 2005ish, I think, to Spain, and it pissed me off because
Oh, the Spanish.
the Spanish were there. The fucking cunt. No, it was Murcia. I think I was staying in. It was near Valencia anyway, but it was my girlfriend at the time's parents did own a holiday home there, which is fair enough if you've got the money, buy a house somewhere else. That's
Fuck it, yeah. On yourself.
But the problem was it wasn't a bit where it was like a big British bit.
Oh, like a big expat bit or something.
Big expat bit. And I did hear one day some woman complaining that she went to Valencia and she couldn't find someone who spoke English to help her in a shop, and it's like, you've moved there, you learn their language. It's like, fuck's sake.
It's also the future.
Yeah.
Like, now this is the future. You can Google literally anything.
Yeah, well,
Google Translate's a thing.
2005 maybe not as
Well,
widespread, but
it was the not so long past ago.
Yeah.
We still had 3G, I think,
True.
in 2005.
True, but at the same time, it's like, she would be the first fucking cunt to complain if she was still living in England and someone from Spain moved over and couldn't speak
complained
English.
because she could,
And,
she would be.
Yeah, and it's just like, fuck all yous, man. Just, if you're going to move to a country, integrate. Just like, learn the language, or at least enough. You don't
Have
need
a
to be
phrase
fluent.
book, will you?
Aye, at least learn enough so you can get by day to day.
I've only really been on holidays to other English speaking countries. I do that by choice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm no good with like, you know, other languages and other kind of like cultures and integrate. I'm not good at it. I can't really, like, I've never been to Spain, but I've been to France and it fucking sucked because I was just out my element completely. But if I go to America, I'm like, cool. I know how to talk the way you talk.
Oh, it's kinda.
You just fuck up sometimes, but you don't say cunt as much as you should.
Put yours in words, you prick.
Aye, but it's. I would be very gonna. It's a bit of self-awareness.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go somewhere where they don't really speak English, don't just assume that you're gonna be all right.
Aye.
It's fucking entitlement, man.
And it's bad enough you're going on holiday doing it, but if you move there and do that,
Aye, you're even worse.
you're even worse.
Why can't you adapt to me?
Fucking Spain's something else, man. Like, I'm into that whole sleeping during the day thing. I think that's alright. But
Man, I'm not into the fact that they have dinner at 10 at night.
that's because they sleep during the day.
I fuck them, but man,
Alright.
dinner at 10. That's
dinner-
supper.
I had
right?
dinner at 11 last night.
You're a wild card, mate. That's
That's because I was at the hockey and that's when I got back
suppose,
home. A wild card. Had a midnight snack.
I used to think, do you know, see the concept of midnight snacks?
Aye.
I used to think of it when I was really young as being like, oh, a midnight snack, oh my days. And now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You got a toast at 12:30? Aye, let's do it.
But like midnight snacks were always like sort of portrayed in cartoons as like.
This elaborate thing, this
Aye.
massive fucking
Aye,
sandwich.
it's like nice. When I think of midnight snack, I think of like the big sandwiches that have in Scooby Doo with like 15
Aye.
layers and things like that, and it's no.
Stuck out the top of it.
It's like
It's
some
no,
toast.
it's a bit of toast and a few tuck biscuits. Or a
biscuits.
Viscount. Aye, man.
Or tuck biscuits.
Oh, they're the mad like cheese cracker
I get
things.
them, fuck. Viscounts, do you still get them?
I think you do. I've not had one in years.
What about
A Blue Band. I was a Blue Band family, man. They were fucking amazing. £5 for a pound.
£5 for a pound, man? That's
£5 for a pound.
That's steep.
Or 120 for an 8-pack, but that wasn't what Papa Goldie bought. We got the 5 for £1 pack.
Why?
So that we could all have one each and then he can have another one. Bastard.
I did not get.
Did I tell you about that? I've never told you about this, right?
Why
I
did
won an Easter egg when I was 8 and I had it and my mum told me you can't eat that till Easter actually happens and I went, got it mate. My dad fucking ate my Easter egg. Mad bastard, so he is. So I think a few months later he bought like a mad 4-pack of like Empire biscuits and he ate like 2 of them and then I ate a third one and he was raging because somebody ate his Empire biscuit and he was cutting about the house asking like who fucking ate that, and I was just like no. If you knew it was me and I just wouldn't eat. I just wouldn't own up to it. I was just like nah mate, I don't even like Empire biscuits. Fuck jam. So to this day, like every so often, it would just ask you like, yeah, fucking nah, I'm not getting in. Fucking nigh on 20-year campaign of lies. Confectionery goes a long way in the Gordy family, man. We really fucking care.
Why did he eat your Easter egg?
I don't know, he's a bastard. It was a Mars bar one, it was like the pure old ones, like it was a massive egg, 2 massive big Mars bars, and it was fucking gone. I remember the exact cupboard it was in. I opened it one day and just went, oh. What's happened to you? I've been cheated.
A fucking Easter egg, it's not even Easter. Someone else said it.
I was so prepared for it. I was like, I'll wait. I think that's when I stopped believing in God, actually. When my Easter egg got eaten for me. I was like, the big man wouldn't have let this happen to me. And I'm not talking about Hitler.
Between the Easter egg and the Kipling incident. That's like God had left.
Disenfranchised me.
Imagine we got God on, man. That'd be pretty good.
It'd be bizarre.
That would be episode 100.
Aye.
We could have done that.
Nah, you couldn't.
But imagine you booked God and you knew you had to get to episode 100, so you just
Imagine you booked God, but you couldn't be asked doing it. Like, got to the weekend and you're like, can we just postpone God a wee bit, please? No enough patter for God.
Luckily, we're recording on Sunday, so you should probably be
Hey,
busy.
you'll be free.
No, he'll be.
Oh, he'll be busy, I suppose, aye. One day of the week.
Is that not when they have church?
That's when everybody else rests, but he's on.
He's.
Handing out the blessings.
I think you'd be alright with you being Jewish and that.
The thing is, I'm not actually Jewish, but everybody thinks I'm Jewish because of my last name. So I'll just hide along with it.
No,
I'll be Jewish until it's no convenient to be Jewish. Right? See if I get up to the pearly gates and he's like, oh, I don't know, mate. I'll be like, it was a lie.
Oh, but that'll go against you.
Fuck! No, he's got to forgive you though, so it's fine.
True.
If you're knowing all the loopholes around God.
I never heard the whole Jew thing until you told me about it. Could you?
People really thought I was Jewish when I was in secondary
No, but
school.
you said the reason was that like you were talking about the stereotypes of Jews, and it was like, oh, they have big noses, and somebody went, you've got a big chin.
Yeah,
You must be Jewish.
they made that connection. Like they'd come out of RE, and in that RE class they just learned that stereotypically Jews have big noses, and they were like, well, I mean, you've got another big thing in your face, therefore you must be doing the gog all the time.
I'm doing the gog all the time. It's in the corner from my house.
Fucking love the gog.
Don't know if it's open. I've never seen it.
I wonder if it's offensive to call it the gog. I wonder. I don't even care. I don't even care if it is.
The gog. They don't actually call it temple. I'm not sure.
Probably I can't. Nah, doing the gog. Doing the gog.
They don't call it the gog. We call it the gog.
I call it. I'm Jewish apparently, so
Sorry.
it's fine.
Sorry, I got distracted by Facebook there because like
That's good.
I became a troll on Facebook, like, and somebody
Or
got
do you just like inciting wee arguments and all
Aye,
that?
and somebody got really annoyed at me because they were talking about, there was a page talking about Limp Bizkit, right? So, and they specifically mentioned in the song Nookie.
Uh-huh.
So I put a wee comment here, you know, as I like to do.
Aye.
Fred Durst was 29 when Nookie came out, which leads me to believe he has never had his hole in his life since only a virgin would write that. And this guy, and this guy's like, you fucking cunt. He spent all his time at the Playboy Mansion, nailed Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. Like, mate, I don't care. Like, I wasn't being 100% serious.
That was a perfectly good orange juice. I want to hear everybody in the house repeat after me. Say fuck Limp Bizkit. Fuck Limp Bizkit.
talking of Limp Bizkit, did you go and see them when they played with Korn
No.
last year? No, right, okay. So that's part of my thought of
I
this.
really
one.
would have liked to have gone to see Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Chocolate Starfish is a hell of an album.
No, but they were never my sort of thing.
Your
But
cup of tea.
in saying that, like I was through in Edinburgh with the Boy Danger the other night, and got talking about Limp Bizkit. I can't remember why, but we started talking about them. Mm-hmm. And he said about that aforementioned gig with Korn last year,
aye.
and he said like Limp Bizkit were the absolute worst. Like they were so shite.
Oh, really?
But like they kept doing things to piss off like the crowd. They would start like they would play. I don't know what song's got a good breakdown in it.
Break stuff.
Break stuff. So for the breakdown and that, they would go like they play the chords and then they'd go like they'd do a countdown. So they'd go like 10, 9, like building the crowd up to it. And then when they got to 1, they would just continue with the breakdown, just fucking with them. It's like, this isn't 2001. No man, this isn't the sort of thing you could get away with, like fucking away the crowd back then.
Wes Borland, that's the guitarist in it?
Aye, the guy
Is
kept
he-
painting himself up.
Aye. Is he still with them? Because I know he quit a wee while back.
So I remember DJ Lethal went on a rant on Twitter, like quitting Limp Bizkit. It's like calling Fred Durst a wank and things.
But then he is a wank.
I mean, he is, but he's had his whole like so many times.
Aye, prior to being 29. Absolutely, 100%.
So that's the Limp Bizkit hour there for you.
Limp Bizkit.
I like if I didn't come up with notifications on Facebook, I would have forgotten I even typed
Aye.
that on Facebook. Like, man, I just
See, I kind of get into it in Twitter where I'm like, I'll look at like a thread or something and then just the FUDs that come out and like how they kind of like interpret some information or how they're like how that plays into their way of viewing the world. And then they'll chime in and it's like, oh, you need to fall in a stank, man. You're fucking bad. Like,
see, that's why I don't bother with things like that, and I'll just like type things that I think of like that.
I think,
just
do you know, I think it was a few days ago, like Ice-T
oh yeah,
was tweeting
Kate
it.
Hopkins.
Did I retweet it? Aye.
I saw
It's
it
fucking amazing.
somewhere else.
It's fucking amazing. I don't know. Get it verbatim for us, right? Fucking Ice-T, like, tweeted at Katie Hopkins because she was tweeting about Idris Elba being the new 007. And she was like, there's nothing wrong with Idris Elba, but James Bond is white, so he can't be 007. And it's like, that's whole fucking discussion about, like, what is a character, like is a character's ethnicity, like, always fucking set and shit. And, like, aye, she tweeted something about that and he just, like, quoted or whatever, just saying, this bitch sounds stupid. and she replied by saying, thank you for listening, Tracy Lauren Marrow. Is like, that's Ice-T's actual name. And then she was
Right.
like, Ice-T my ass. And then he just replied with a fucking beezer, lol, the whole replied, eat a dick. It's like, that's the best way to interact with Katie Hopkins. Just, because that's true, she's done that in a field. Mind that? Mad.
I like the way like
I hate her, man.
why would they be pissed off that she used his real name?
I know, like, ooh, oh no.
Aye, fucking, she's such a bellend, man.
Ah,
like,
she is.
And the thing
she's
with James
fucking
Bond,
worst.
though, in the books, he was Scottish. Or we meant to be pure
Like,
rage.
it doesn't fucking matter.
Aye, I know, that's the thing, though, but if you're going to be that pure, I was like, oh, well,
Yeah,
Pierce
why is-
Brosnan's Irish, like, Daniel Craig's English,
Aye.
you shouldn't be playing them.
Exactly.
They're fucking fiction. If it was like a white guy playing Nelson Mandela in a film, then you'd go like, I want to fuck.
You'd be like, right. But it's a fictional character, something that's made
Aye.
up.
It's like when people
There was
get
the exact same discussion about Idris Elba, funnily enough, being in the Dark Tower films because the character he played was a white character and like modelled after Clint Eastwood. But like, it doesn't fucking matter.
no, that
It
film.
doesn't matter.
That film was atrocious.
It's fucking bad.
Regardless,
As a reader of the Dark Tower, that film is fucking bad.
so bad, man. Matthew McConaughey playing.
Matthew McConaughey in anything.
No, what was it? Is it the Man? No, Idris Elba's the Man in Black. What's his?
No, he was the Man in
Is he the
Black.
man?
Aye.
Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black as Joe Bluth. It just,
Yeah.
I would expect them to just go, it's an illusion, Michael. It's so bad. As soon as he came on stage, I was like, Kelly, that's Joe Bluth. I can't take any chance that I was going to take this seriously. Just went
It's
straight
out the
out the
window.
fucking window. And it was shit on top of that.
Bad film. And it just, I mean, not to get into a big fucking furor about the Dark Tower, but it just doesn't represent the books at all.
I know, I don't.
Not at all.
But the Dark Tower will be worse because it's Stephen King.
No,
so.
it's fucking Dino.
Plus, it describes itself as a graphic novel. If you're not just going to call yourself a fucking... Like,
No, that
I
is
know,
a graphic
I know,
novel.
but it's not a graphic novel. It's a fucking comic.
That is a comic.
Just like if you're that ashamed to call it a comic, just don't do it at all. You know,
I've got them through there.
don't. Just bin them.
Don't bin them? Oh, okay.
I said
Good
don't.
advice.
Just bin them.
No.
Aye, just read some Batman. Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of like
Good comics out there, so you don't need
But
Dark.
aye.
You're right. That's perfectly correct. Aye.
there's a lot of ones that deal with. I'm gonna try and say some words here to see if it will trigger about what I'm gonna be talking about next. We'll see if you can catch on. A lot of comics out there with some animals in them, and people interacting with animals in a rambunctious way.
Excuse me.
So there's a story that we read about a Republic congressman. More politics, of course.
Right, see, right, 2 seconds before you go on, right? Because we have got 2 stories here about animals, and we'll get to the next one soon.
That one. Yeah, no, I know that one, mate.
I was like, this wasn't
No, this
it?
one's a bit more raunchy.
Yeah, right, okay.
So there's this Republican congressman candidate. I think he's running for Congress, and his name, first of all, is fucking amazing. His name's Denver Riggleman.
Sounds like a fucking interferer with animals, doesn't it?
So apparently he has been outed by his Democratic
Opponent.
for this Congress position that he's really into Bigfoot erotica, and he's into
Who isn't?
I mean, I've got it plastered all on my walls. Now she tweeted about him, essentially just slagging him, understandably, for being into Bigfoot erotica. But the most interesting part is like he's come out talking about it, and he's like, that was like a 14-year-old joke with my pals, like because he's allegedly writing some book about Bigfoot, and they were like trying to take the piss out of him, being like, oh, it's just about how Bigfoot shags, and like you're tweeting him pictures of like Bigfoot with like a sensor where the dick would be, but it's like a baseball bat. And then another one where like the Democratic opponent tweeted at him that same picture, but with his head like over Bigfoot's head. And it's like, I don't think that's even if he was into Bigfoot erotica, I don't think he himself would be imagining himself as Bigfoot. He'd be getting done in by Bigfoot.
You never know. You never know.
You never know, but I mean,
I'm just disappointed, right? Because last episode we thought we had definitively covered the porn crisis, and we haven't.
We haven't apparently
because you can't.
There's Bigfoot dick pics out there. Not only do we not know if he exists, but
the mythical
Bigfoot.
How raging would you be? And I know I feel bad for lassies in the current climate and how rife unsolicited dick pics seem to be. But how gutted would you be if you're just sitting there minding your own business, like doing lassie things like
hair
and writing in your diary,
Grey's Anatomy,
things like that.
Don't worry, we have actually met Guinness before. We know you.
And then you just get Bigfoot's dick sent to you.
Aye, in the post.
The actual one with a picture. Can you sing for this, please?
Pause and all. I imagine that'd be shite.
How would you know it was Bigfoot's? Would it have a foot on it?
Be signed, I don't know.
Love Bigfoot.
Probably very fucking hairy, I'd imagine.
Some guys are very hairy.
But no right in the shaft. No right in the bell end, like sprouting hairs. That's no a thing.
Right, okay.
Maybe
right,
girls
stop,
are into furries.
Stop. I have animals, right?
And I don't like hearing this.
No, like Stanley's got a wee bit excited before, right? And his
lipstick came out.
Yeah, his pinger
Aye.
showed its wee head. He's a dog, right? He's quite hairy, but his willy wasn't.
It's nice, no?
No.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But Bigfoot's would be
Aye.
sprouting hairs out the
Aye.
bell end.
hey, Larry, aye, why not? Why not?
Randy's came.
It's all a fucking simulation anyway.
True.
So why can we not have a mythical big ganting gorilla with a big ganting dick? Big hairy dick? No?
I'm not into willies, right? But you see the thought of a bell end with hair
Wee
coming
hairy.
out, it's fucking it's disturbing.
Aye. I can comb it.
You would need to. Just a side part and stuff.
Dick's all matted. Condition my dick. I'll get you thrush.
I'm gonna give you a few things.
But anyways, this guy, Denver Riggleman, the supposed Bigfoot fondler.
What a name.
I know, right?
Denver Riggleman.
Congressman Riggleman. Imagine that.
I don't think he's going to win.
Probably no after this news.
Virginia, he probably will.
But apparently, Virginia, yeah, true. Apparently it is a joke, and it's just been kind of, I don't know, thrown on him because he's in, congressional running race or whatever.
This is the thing though, when you're a politician, you can't joke about things
you
like
can't
this.
do that.
I mean, James Gunn got fired from Guardians of the Galaxy for jokes 10 years ago, right? And he's just a film director.
Do you know what annoys me about it though? Like people are like they're opening the story with like all right people of brought all this to the light and you know they're harming his crew, all these alt-right bastards that are doing it. And it's like, I know it was right, but every single other profession that's been brought into the public light of like Harvey Weinstein and all that, it's not left-wing people have brought this to light. It's just people. What is this? I just don't get why there's a difference when it's the alt-right.
Because
these are all fucking cunts. No, the Harvey Weinstein shit, that's fucking justified, right? But like anybody that kind of brings up shit from your past, purely with the intent of ruining your position.
Serinovich, is that his name?
Who's that?
He's a alt-right prick. He's one of those like Fox fucking pundits or something like that. But he did it specifically because he said, that I'm going to get like a prominent liberal person fired in response to all the left-wing cunts who got Roseanne fired, even though Roseanne tweeted some racist shit. Yeah, it's a bit sticky with Roseanne, man. Because she was on Nightfall or something. She was out her tits, and she asserts that she didn't know that the person was of colour. She's like, I had no fucking idea. And she's an old woman. Like, fuck her. She's given John Goodman work in 2018. Come on,
John Goodman's the man. What are you talking about?
It's 2018. Come on, move on. We need a new fat guy. What about the King of Queens?
No.
Paul Blart, Malcolm.
Paul Malcott Blart.
It's like Dick Davehead.
Dick Davehead. Oh dear me.
Just social media is so fucking shite, right?
It is, man. But it seems to be like, I don't know, from looking at it, is that like I don't give a shit about the right or the left, really. They're both, there's cunts in both ends, right? But it just seems like there's a big over prominence of like, the alt-right did this, and then when the left does the exact same thing, it's not really picked up upon as the left did this. That's whether it's justified or not, that just seems to be what's coming out. And everybody hates the alt-right, understandably, but you should also hate the alt, like the fucking majorly way over the line
thing,
left.
It's because the alt-right don't differentiate between the left. If you're not conservative, you're the left, according to them. That's the thing.
But also the same with the hardcore left as well. If you're not a liberal, you must be a dirty fucking Republican.
You're a dirty Republican, though.
You could be a libertarian.
They're worse.
No, they're not.
They are.
They're probably the better of the three.
No, libertarian, like, pretend they're no. At least for that alt-right. I'll give this for the alt-right, right? At least they stand up for what they believe in. I fucking hate what they believe in, but at least
they're there.
They are. Libertarians are just like, but
I'm getting right. Ambivalence is all for me, dude. No, it's like, just be sound to each other.
But they're wanks.
Aye, that's why I fucking hate them. No libertarians.
Libertarians are wanks.
Nah, man.
Alt-right are wanks.
The libertarians just want people to just be themselves. Just let people get on with things.
You need to call out the cunts, so you just don't go, cool.
I need to call out the cunts, aye, totally.
Libertarians don't.
But what I'm saying is we're not also calling out the cunts on the left. It's just anonymous people. Their political affiliation isn't known by anybody at all. So the alt-right are worse. Arguably, they are worse. But fuck, man, you need to also point out the shite in your corner as well. Not you personally, of course, but like
shite in my corner.
That's where I shite.
Like Bigfoot.
That's why it's called the shite corner. That's why it's all brown and crusty.
Bigfoot with a pinger shiting in the corner.
Jesus, this is a really. Do you know, this is actually the juxtaposition of this episode where we're actually talking a bit more about politics, but we're also talking about hairy dicks and crusty shite. It's a good balance. I think.
When we started this, we started like, we'll get this fired out in an hour, and it hasn't.
It's evolved.
You can't plan for this gold, obviously. Right. Talking about the alt-right, you seen the big hoo-ha in games recently? Not what we've got down here this summer.
No, it's the whole
think back to Gamergate, right?
Aye.
How isn't it about hating women? Obviously it was about
journalism.
Ethics and games journalism, which it wasn't. But let's just say for a minute it was, right? It wasn't. But let's just say it was. A guy who worked for IGN has just been found out.
Oh yes, this guy.
For plagiarism.
Plagiarising a YouTube reviewer.
Yeah.
Pretty much using the exact same words and the exact same paragraph and in structure.
Which I don't get, because it's your opinion of a game. Why do you need to plagiarise it? Why can't you not just say?
That's the thing. He made an apology video. Did you see it?
Yeah.
And he was.
No, I
he
didn't
was-
see a video, but I heard about it.
He basically kind of like encapsulated, like, I take full responsibility for what happened. Doesn't ever apologise for it. But he basically says, like any reviewer nowadays, I have to go look at other reviews so that I can come at it critically and then form my own opinion. And it's like, that's not what reviewing is about at all.
There's
you
certain-
don't watch anything else. That fucking pollutes your opinion.
There is certain things you can research though. Like, say you want to talk about the developer and you want to know what they've done before, you
Aye.
can go and like look up that. That's the only sort of research you should be doing for a
you shouldn't
review.
be going like, oh, Minecraft review before I review Minecraft. Like, oh, what does this guy think about it?
Aye.
You get some good points. They're now my points. That's
So-
just fucking dumb.
The best bit about that video though was he said, I dare anyone to find other cases of me plagiarising.
Oh no, he didn't.
He did. And sit down for this.
What?
They found plenty of
You're
examples.
joking. You're joking.
Including one where he just lifted someone's post off NeoGAF and just put it in his review. I can't remember what the game was, but he just like lifted word for word. He didn't even try. He just went word for word. I copy, paste into his own review. So
It's like that mad. Was it Matthew Santana or something? The FUD that's on YouTube with the big eyes, and he just does like 50 facts about this, 50 facts about this, 72 things you didn't know about this, and it's like they all just came from articles that were in some website, the exact same website, and he was just copying it like verbatim over and over, and yet somehow people still watch him. It's like, fuck him.
yeah, it's weird, right? I'm into games. I don't really pay attention to reviews because
It doesn't matter.
at one point, well, I know what game I'm generally going to like, right? But there seemed to be this shift in the industry where like 7 became the average.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
7's like okay.
Yeah.
5 is horrible.
It's like,
What fucking scale do we think?
it's like, surely on a 10-point scale, 5 should be average because that's in the middle.
Right in the
Anything
middle.
below a 5,
Probably
no,
pish.
Anything above a 5, good.
Alright.
Varying degrees of good. But 7 just seem to be, and like you read these reviews, it's like, oh, I played this game, I didn't like it. The visuals were crap. The
Horrible
music was
camera.
crap. Camera was crap. The gameplay didn't work. 7 out of 10. It's like,
What?
mate, this doesn't correspond with what you've written. It's like,
Well, he probably looked at some other reviews because that's the standard practice, and they all gave it 7, so they can't be wrong.
most of my game stuff I get from Giant Bomb, who don't like, they just said that we think in this day and age reviews just aren't worth it. We don't have time. There's too many games to sit and dedicate enough.
Too many games are too subjective now. Anyway, you get one like see you get like a film in your head. You watch it once, maybe twice, and then you can form like a decent opinion on it. With a game, it can take you fucking months, depending on the game.
And everyone likes different things. I can't fuck it. Like Pokemon is one of the biggest. I can't stand it. Like I just don't like it at all. But that doesn't. I know I wind people up about liking Pokemon, but in general, like I'm not going to. I just know Pokemon's no for me. There's no point in me trying the new
point in you trying to play
Pokemon
it.
because
Nice.
it's
You're not gonna
similar
like
to the it was the mechanics of the game I didn't like to begin with. And when you were when I played Blue back in fucking 1997 or whatever it was, it was the fact you had to go and catch things. That wasn't for me.
Wasn't it for
and,
you?
and there was only 100.
That's its primary thing, so you're not going to.
Yeah, and there was only 150 or 151 in that game. Now there's like 3 million.
Aye.
It's definitely not going to be made for me now. You know, it's like
Aye, man.
here's the same thing but more. Like,
Did you know that one of them is just a pile of rubbish?
aye, and
It's called rubbish.
And there's like car keys or something
Aye,
like
clef
that.
key.
It's like, for fuck's
One of them
sake.
is just a sword. Just a fucking sword. And it evolves into a bigger sword.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Aye, mate.
It's like, I'm into that. It's like, why? I don't get it.
Anyways.
but this is the thing, right? So we're going back to the Gamergate now. Ethics in games journalism. I would say this was a pretty big breach of ethics in games journalism
most
with this guy was doing. I
definitely,
can't
most
remember his name. There's not been a peep for these alright guys, and I don't know why. Is it because he doesn't have boobies and a vajayjay
Probably.
and colourful hair?
Probably.
It's weird.
There was a bit more to Gamergate though. Than just that, because there was the whole thing of this. It was all about some women's game, was it not?
Yeah.
And how it got really good reviews, and the guy that reviewed it was like dating her.
Yeah, and
That's a
then,
bit fucky.
and then he turned around and said, "Well, no, what happened? The guy said this."
Aye, the guy. Yeah, but that's what started it. Really, it wasn't just like
Right,
Oh,
but
fuck-
even if you think that's
fuck
bad,
these women.
right? You still don't send her death threats and like.
Yeah, you don't send guns death threats ever, really.
No,
That's not
it's
a good
like-
thing to do.
And it's just fucking.
If you disagree with something, just turn it off. Just Go away.
These cunts are the absolute worst. And I'm new to Reddit, right? I've never been into Reddit because it's a bad place for bad people. But since we started this, and it's a pretty good source for wacky shit that we can talk about, like
an Indian dressing up as Hitler.
Like an Indian dressing up as Hitler, like and it's normally the WTF subreddit I go to because you get some weird
you
shit.
Get some
in there.
weird stories there.
But I've been branching out. So I started off in gaming, WTF, and the hockey ones, obviously, because you like to think in the hockey ones there's not going to be as much shittiness.
But then you're wrong.
But then you're wrong. But so I started off just breaking myself in, no, figuratively.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, figuratively, not literally. Just sat there with something at Mars. No.
Corona ball.
Pretending it was Bigfoot's neck. No, I was just... enough. So I started off from there and I was like, no what, I'm feeling a wee bit brave. So I started branching it into other things. So I found like subreddits like creepy PMs, that's a good one for like, and it's just, see the shit lassies go through on the internet just for being lassies. It's like, what the fuck's the world coming to, man? And it's like, oh hello, here's I got a new dog today, and then a PM comes out, I want to shag you. It's like, no. It's like, the lassie's just happy she got a dog, you know, just don't do that. And
This is why I'm just not really into social media. I don't post like.
well, that's,
my Twitter is just kind of like if I'm annoyed at something or if I see something that's kind of funny to me, that's when I put it up. But I'm not gonna just update you in my day to day because I don't even care about my day to day. So I don't expect anybody else to.
I went to work.
I went to work. It was good.
Well,
I
you'd
came
never
home,
say
had
that.
dinner. It was mildly tasty. Like,
Yeah, that's why I just tweet shite. Like, there's no, and in Facebook, that's why I became this. It's no like a troll in the traditional sense, but just
An
a guy.
arsehole.
No, not even that. I'll go in and I'll type something that I think's funny, and then see people
See
get
what
annoyed
happens.
about it, and then like I just move on. I don't get into big discussions with these clowns. Like that guy's talking about Britney Spears pumping Fred Durst. I don't care. It's like I typed that because I thought it'd be funny. You know, it's just like no, because I believe it, or like, and people just take the internet so seriously, and I don't get it. Or people,
see, I think you've got people that take the internet seriously and they use it like I just got a dog. Oh, it's great. They use it like as a proper utility. And then there's people like us that don't really give a fuck. But you've got a branch of people that don't give a fuck where they're just like, "Hi, shag you," and it's just no good. You can't do that.
fuck, man.
You got to be conscientious and you're not giving a fuck.
Yeah, so things like that, and it's just like,
Even though that's a giant bit.
if I was a lassie, I'd never go on. And I just
I would
it's like
it's
not
not
worth
a
it.
good place.
No, I've never thought like I've been on Facebook or something. I've seen like maybe I've seen an attractive lassie post a picture. I'd maybe go, all right, we like or something like that under the picture. I wouldn't then go and fucking harass them via text or PM going, oh, do you want to shag?
When you're on holiday, 2 years ago, we get pictures.
Show us your snatch.
That's quite a jump.
No, that's what I've seen pretty much for this creepy PM subreddit. It's never like, hello.
See, whenever you click on it, it's always an old guy as well. It's always like some 40-year-old that thinks like, I've got 5 friends, so nobody else sees this. Like, no, you're a da. Fuck's sake.
You're a da. Ah, the internet.
But people in social media, it's a good laugh sometimes when people share their ridiculous stories of what's happened to them.
That's what I like to think my Twitter is, where I'll just say, like the other day we were listening to Blink 182 in the car because they're the
why
best.
wouldn't you?
And I just, you know, they were talking about how Tom DeLonge's fucking terrible. I've never really got into him, have we? On here,
We've not really voiced our opinion in Tom DeLonge in this.
not
podcast.
in terms of being in Blink, but like his alien obsession. That should be something.
Something that needs to be investigated. We need the boat out to go see him. I mean, he did that. I think, did we not mention it at one point? I was
think we
talking,
did, but we just kind of
'cause he-
offhand. It may have been the second episode, which was terrible. We mentioned
true.
him a lot, and when the recording was shite, and it got edited out.
Probably, aye. Because he was on Joe Rogan, and
Yeah.
that's where I last saw him. And he's trying to punt some alien things as usual. But it was just dead funny because it was a really weird atmosphere where Joe Rogan wasn't really into the discussion, and they've got like a wee sound guy, and he puts up all like web pages and stuff for them to look at and videos and stuff. And Tom DeLonge was trying to describe like this video that they wanted them all to watch, and he had to like take his headphones off and go around to the guy and be like, oh, type in this, and doing that whole fucking bullshit thing you do at parties, like, no, that's fucking bad. And you could just see Joe Rogan like silently fucking like whispering into his mic, because his sound guy has headphones on, he's going like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like, it's just fucking hilarious that like you could blatantly see like this is not a good discussion for either party.
No,
Tom DeLonge is getting treated like a fucking idiot because he is a fucking idiot, and some of the shit he just said, man.
He's the fucking worst.
He really believes in aliens.
That's
Like, he thinks they're with us now.
that's fine, but that doesn't mean you should sing in an English accent when you're from California.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah, it's a weird guy. Though Tim Armstrong for Rancid does the exact same thing.
A lot of people sing with that accent. People nowadays sing with that accent.
This is the thing, right? There was a ska band from Greenock, or at least Inverclyde area, maybe Port Glasgow or something like that, called the Scarsouls, right?
Right.
And I had one of their songs stuck in my... Like, I had this song stuck in my head for when I was a wee guy, remember it? It's like, I just couldn't place it, because in my mind, like, oh, it must be an American band, because they sing in an American accent.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was the Scarsouls who done that. So like, I'm going at my fucking mind looking for this song. Like, I don't know what this is. It's just stuck in my head. And then I finally find it. It's like, you're for Greenock. Why are you singing? Why are you singing like that? And then the worst thing is you've got bands for California singing in English accents, and you've got cunts for here singing in American accents.
Don't
Like,
wait, it's your turn.
the best.
The best,
mate. Yeah, just sing your own accent. I think we've went on this rant before. I do it quite a lot because, like,
Man, it's important.
be proud of your culture. Not in a Tommy Robinson way, right? But,
No, an idiot.
but don't be ashamed to sing your shitey Scottish accent. You know,
Although, don't go to the extremes that Twin Atlantic went to.
I've never listened to Twin Atlantic.
What is light and where is laughter? That's how they sing.
That sounds pretty good. I mean,
Very, very Scottish. I remember, like, at the time, because I was in a band at the time that they were becoming prominent in, like, so I was aware of, like, you know, other bands at the time and, like, talking to, like, people and stuff, and people were really fucking aggressive towards that accent, where they're putting it on, they're, like, over enunciating, like, in a Scottish way, and it's like, I don't really see a problem with that.
I can see that happening though, because see, whenever I do an impression of a Scottish guy, I don't use my own accent. I put on, a Scottish.
Oh, what are you doing there, son? Aye, yeah. But, like, it's the same thing as, like, Californian folks singing, like, that fucking that weird fucking twang that they do. It's the exact same. I don't mind it. I'd rather somebody that's Scottish singing an overpronounced Scottish accent than a Scottish band singing in an American accent. I prefer that much more.
It's so bad, man. And it's like, oh, but it's because I listen to a lot of American music. It's like, so did I.
So
But
did I,
when I was in the Fleeto, like, I didn't do it, because that was the one thing I was like, I don't want to be one of those cunts that sings an American accent. Not that Scottish accent's fucking brilliant, but, like, what I did wasn't really singing, it was more shouting.
Did he also talk in an American accent? Because I'm sure he's seen a bunch of films that were in American.
Maybe. Music's a fucking weird one. I was just thinking, like, I can't think of any Californian twangs. I can't think of a band for California that I actually listen to.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, they've got a wee bit of the
I don't listen to
California.
because they're fucking bad. Apart from Argos, dun, 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 dun,
Bootcut.
dun, dun.
Street Light.
Standing in line. Oh, fucking shite, man.
I like that album. One of the first albums I ever bought, by the way. By the way, no, I'm saying by the way, but by the way is the album. It's called By the Way, by the way.
It's the first album I ever bought.
First album I ever actually bought was Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. What a fucking nailer.
Fuck's sake.
Fucking amazing, so it was.
No.
Oh, the angst.
Are they fae?
They're from Texas, I think.
Are they? All the bands I'm into are for the East Coast. The only California band I might be able to think of might be Agnostic Front, but
Weezer not California.
I don't like them either.
What? Say it ain't so, dear.
That's Blink-182. I will not go. No, Agnostic Front are from New York, so it was more the New York hardcore scene I was into than the LA one. Well, I was thinking more like Sick of All and Agnostic Front, who would just make Fugazi.
Just chipping in more, mate.
Fugazi aren't really hardcore. They're more
punk.
what?
They're more punk, aren't they?
They're a weird one. They're like, I don't know, like progressive punk.
Prog punk.
Prog punk. I don't know.
There was a heavy good thing I remember.
Ian Mackay was in. Sorry, a guy for Fugazi was in Minor Threat first. Who
I feel like there's not a lot of chance to mention Fugazi, but if you like Fugazi at all and you also like the Wu-Tang Clan, some heroes back in 2013 like did a fusion of like a bunch of songs by Fugazi and Wu-Tang, and they called it Wugazi, and it's fucking amazing. Get that googled right now.
I've just looked it up, and they're from DC. I actually
DC.
knew that.
So
Let's talk about music.
what about music? You got any more hanging?
Any good bands? Yeah.
Any bands? I hear that band Ruben and all right. That's quite good.
Man, that's a sandwich. We went over this. No, innit?
Back to social media, right?
Social media.
Social media.
Fucking Social Distortion up in California. I knew
you
I'd
go.
find. I know hardcore, but like I knew I'd find a band.
Nice one.
And Rancid.
You
I
happy
don't-
with yourself?
Aye.
Nice one.
No.
Nice one.
Oh, I'm happy because that just reminded me of Mike Ness of Social Distortion. Did you see what he done the other night?
No.
Now, I don't know what's happened to punk music over the years, right? Punk was always pretty political when it started out, you know. You obviously had you had the Sex Pistols and the Ramones who were punk, but they weren't as political. Apart from maybe God Save the Queen, you could say was a bit political. But then you had bands like The Clash who were heavy political, and as a genre, you would say it was a political genre, right? For some reason, Mike Ness of Social Distortion, who used to be married to Dieter Von Teese, I believe.
Oh, really?
Even though he's an old cunt. But he went on a rant at a Social Distortion gig the other night against Trump, which, you know, he's quite an easy target, Trump, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, but
Very much
it
so.
is what it is. It's punk. What can you do? But someone in the crowd took sort of
Exception
to this, and it's weird because it's politics, you know, and Trump is a big topic even outside of like gigs and just in general. Trump's the hot topic just now.
He's a big discussion point.
He's a wank, but so the obvious conclusion for this was for Mike Ness to go in the crowd and punch the guy.
Oh really?
He just went and leathered him because this guy's like,
What was the guy saying in response? Like just
I don't-
fuck up.
pretty much.
Trump
There was nothing to suggest that he was being overly abusive or anything like that. But Mike Ness he was an ex-heroin junkie. I don't know why I had to specify heroin, but he's an ex-junkie. He's had a hard life, you know. And
A rough go.
A rough go, yeah. You know, you think he'd be a bit better than that. But, I mean, sometimes you just need to...
Sometimes you just need to assault people for their opinions, don't you?
Aye, apparently so.
That's fucked.
So I'll keep an eye on that. I don't know what's happening. I'm thinking of all these bands for California now. We'll only go into them, but like Bad Religion, effects, but there is quite a few.
There's hundreds of
Aye, California's a big state, and believe it or no, a lot of bands are coming out
more
of
than
there.
5. Who'd have thought, man? Who'd have thought?
So yeah, sorry, I thought that was a wee bit topical what we're talking about. Like it just the whole politics thing is everything's becoming more political. I don't know why people would have thought, a punk show will be alright for no talking about politics, given the history of it. But there you go. Somebody got punched. What can you do? It wasn't very nice. I'm not going to say he deserved a punch because I don't know what he said, but
Well, you shouldn't really deserve a punching for any opinion you've got about
it
anyone.
depends. Man, I've wanted to punch people for their stupid opinions before.
But whether you would actually do it though, it's you know, if somebody's like, oh, I fucking hate Twixes, it's not going to be like, fuck you, mate. You're getting done in. Twixes are amazing.
But if it was a double decker, mate, they'd get their cunt kicked in.
That's bad. Right? It's like fuck. I don't know.
Right, no, sorry. So what we're saying, back to social media. What about that?
It's social media, so it's something that's good to share stories with, and you can laugh at folks around the globe for the stupid things that they get themselves into. And you found a nice wee story about a lassie, a woman that just wanted to just give her children just a nice wee pet.
Well,
She went to a pet shop and she bought a hamster, because everybody loves a good wee hamster, don't they?
they do.
I had a hamster. Do you ever have a hamster?
I did. Then there was some sort of battle royale situation where
Oh fuck.
I had 3, but 2 of them kept shagging and having babies. And so
Just observed as a kind of experiment.
no. So the thing is, right? So you need to take the dad out, but keep
them all in the wains.
more away the wains because the dad will eat the
Eat the wains.
wains. It's very difficult to They're not like people, you know. It's no that obvious what one's what.
Aye.
But the third one kept getting a doing off because it must have been two guys and they were fighting over who
got their hamster dick wet.
So when one got hurt, like no serious hurt, it was just like a wee cut in its back. But you were able to like take that one out, put it in its own cage, clean that, keep the wound clean and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just too hard to tell what the difference in the guy and the woman was. So, and then they kept shagging, and more babies kept coming. And it's like, man, this is never ending. I need to. So
kibosh in this.
Aye, it was bad. So we finally figured it out, got them all separated and that, and it was fine. But don't get multiple
Hamsters.
Multiple hamsters unless you're absolutely certain of what the sex they are is, because
Well, apparently, don't get one hamster because this unfortunate lady went in the pet shop, bought a hamster for her kids, put it in like a cage and all that, which seems like a weird choice. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, you put it in something that's more secure than a cage.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before we started recording.
Aye.
How did this happen? Because I've got a mouse, right? So I went to the pet shop, geese a mouse, mate, and you put him in a wee cardboard box with holes cut in it.
Aye. No, like a full cage.
No, you carry the cage separately.
Aye. So she put this hamster in the cage, put it in her boot, and then was driving home, and then looked down at her feet, and the big bald hamster was like under the clutch.
Aye, there
so
it was.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Looking for a wee sunflower seed, no doubt.
No doubt. Just like punch up for sunflower seeds. But so it escaped when she was driving the thing back to her house. So she got home and went to like look for it, and like apparently like when she was like shutting the door to like go, she saw it and then it disappeared again. But she couldn't get it. She didn't know whereabouts in the car it was, and I think she just dinged it, took the cage in and all that, and then went out the next day, and like the fucking damage it had done to her car, like pure chewed up seatbelts and like fucked all the like the lining along the doors and all that, fucked like handles and fucking upholstery and all that shit. It was just all hamstery.
Yep.
You'd be fucking beeling.
Yeah.
That carried on for 4 fucking days, man.
She's still not got it back.
She's still not got it out, as far as I could tell for the article. Like it's still on the loose.
What the fuck?
But she's went to like a few mechanics and they're like, aye, this is gonna cost you so much because there's so much internal damage done. It's fucked the wiring and all that. Like, aye, you'd be peeling.
So a car's fucked. It's going to cost a fortune. But I'm putting this on her as well because like your setup for taking it home was shite. Aye. Why would you do that? Obviously, if you put something in a cage, it opens easily. With a car rattling about in the boot,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, even if it was in the car in someone's lap, it might have been alright. But
yeah, but nah, man.
No. So
I remember like when we first get cats, like they're really fucking tiny, and for some reason, like I think I was going out to show one at like my aunt or something like that, and like it sat in like the seat of our car. And then it started like jumping down below that, and I was like, that could very easily just disappear in this car somewhere. So I had to fucking grab it like pure quick. Like that's thinking with your head.
Yeah. And your cat's got stupid names as well.
They do. I love my cats though.
What's one of your cats named after?
I didn't name it after
Think back to episode 1.
After this. So, in keeping with the callbacks, one of my cats, not named by yours truly, is called Dakota.
And why is it called Dakota?
Because there's a stereophonic song called Dakota.
Get that cat in the fucking bin.
That's the bastard cat. That's the cat that scratches you all the time. The other one acts like a Doug, and that's my cat. Like, legitimately is my cat.
A Doug or a duck?
Doug. D-U-G.
That's
I walk in and I see her, and then she just kind of rolls about and wants her belly rub.
Yeah, whenever I get home now, Zelda just sits in my lap for ages. I don't know what.
Oft.
Why? She'll just sit with me as soon as I'm in for like 15 minutes at a time, which is not like her at all. No. But in saying that, last night I was at the ice hockey and I got a text from Kelly saying...
the cat?
No, text from Kelly was like, I was sitting in the living room and I just heard this massive thump, and apparently Zelda was sitting, we've got a glass coffee table, Zelda was sitting in that, she fell asleep and just fucking smashed her head right off the table. And then so Kelly said, I was like, Zelda, and she just wouldn't move, and she honestly thought she'd died for
killing herself on a table.
But she's fine apparently. Well, no, apparently she is fine. She's still wandering about and everything. But like, I don't know what happened to her. But
Madness.
she is getting old. So these things
How old is he?
8.
8.
Which I know isn't.
My cats are turning 8 this year.
It's not that old, but for a cat, that's
It's getting up there.
That's getting up there, right?
So that's poor lassie. She's got a fucked up car, and her kids don't even have a hamster. It's like, you want to go play with the hamster? He's somewhere in that vehicle.
It's kind of funny though, isn't it?
Wee bit, man.
Because like
You'd be raging if it happened to you.
you'd be,
but
well, no, because if my incompetence led to this, I'd go, well, what was I thinking? You know, I put it in a cage in a boot, of course.
I'd still be like, if it actually happened to me, I'd be like, why the fuck did I even bother? Like, why did I bother doing anything? Like, it just always goes bad.
Just get what's a good pet to get? A mouse there, quick. Milo's pretty sound.
Nice, alright.
Yeah, he's tiny. Beats up the cats.
Actual.
Aye.
That's good.
Bit Zelda in the nose again yesterday because she stuck her face in his cage.
That's
Fair
you know
play.
what?
You need to protect your
Boundaries, mate.
You need to protect your house. You know? Like if Americans are allowed to shoot people that come into their house, the mouse should be allowed to bite people that come into his. You know?
Aye, it's
Any good pet stories?
Pet stories? I mean, I don't know if you know, but I used to have a dog when I was young. A greyhound called...
A robotic one.
I know the robotic one. No, this is a real flesh and blood dog.
What was it called?
Jack.
You're shitting naming.
It was a greyhound. It was my dad that named him. I was thinking...
I didn't name him Easter Egg.
I think it was...
Or Empire Biscuit.
I know.
Fucking lost Empire Biscuit, that's the name of the dog. Don't want to use own up.
Is it you, me man? No, Dad. It wasn't me. I don't even like him. I don't like sprinkles. I don't like the wee gem hangs and top. No, I had a dog from, I think I was about 9 to 10 or something. And we didn't have it very long because my dad instantly just didn't like it. Like he wanted a dog and he wanted us to get a dog. And the dog liked us all, but didn't like my dad. We would always run away from him. And my dad was just he's just a weird guy. He's an old shipbuilding guy. He's just this. He doesn't have any patience for like this lesser creature. He's just like, no, I'm done with this dog, and he like took it. He sold it to somebody. And it was like, that was my dog. What the fuck's wrong with you, man?
Your childhood was tragic.
That's shite, wasn't it? Shite, wasn't it?
Eating Easter eggs,
Getting called a Jew.
taking dogs away off you because it didn't like them.
Exactly. It was shite. And I had a Sega, not even a good Nintendo.
I would have phoned the Child Protection Service. And
I feel like, looking back, like, even some of the music I like, I think has been somehow influenced by, like, the fucking soundtrack for, like, Sonic and all that, like, Mega Drive games, like, all those big synth bloops and all that. I wonder how much different it would be if I grew up with a NES instead, and grew up with, like, Mario and all that.
Your life would have been better.
Probably would have been better,
Sonic shite.
Aye. Nobody would have eaten my Easter egg, of course. That would have definitely happened if I played Mario.
With Subway Ways at the ripe old age of 90. Still kicking about.
You grew up with like Nintendo though, didn't you?
Aye, of course. And this is why this story is heartbreaking.
Oh no. So there's been some recent gaming news that's upset many a folk.
Especially me. So Super Smash Brothers is a game.
And it's a game
that I don't particularly enjoy, but
it's a game about characters from a plethora of different games.
Not even Nintendo games, because
not even Nintendo.
Snake and Sega, is it? Sonic's
Snake and that Sega boys.
Sonic
from all sorts of different games, and they all just fight.
Aye, no.
And it's a big thing apparently. I'm not really into it.
No, I'm not into fighting games at all. Like I've tried it, thinking, no, what, I'm not into fighting games, but it's Nintendo, so maybe, but it's just it's not for me.
It's not my jam.
But yeah, you've got all the usual like Nintendo characters. So you've got Link and Zelda and Ganon, and then you've got all your Mario guys like
Mario, Peach.
I was going to say it's Toad. I don't think Toad's in it. No, so you've got Mario, Peach, Luigi,
Bowser,
Wario,
Waluigi. Wario is though.
Wario, no Waluigi.
You get Pokemon as well, like your Pikachu and your.
See, that makes sense though. Like Pikachu and fucking Water Tortoise.
Water Tortoise. Yeah, that's it. Number 4 in the Pokédex, Water Tortoise.
What's his name?
Squirtle.
It's not even Squirtle I'm thinking. It's the.
You're thinking of Mewtwo?
No, the other starting Pokemon for Blue, the wee plant.
Charmander?
No, the plant guy.
Bulbasaur.
I think he's. I don't think Water.
Oh no, there was the Pokemon Trainer, which had the 3 starters for the first games.
I thought they were in it. No, alright.
No, not individually, but they are in it.
Fair enough.
So there's always big news around Super Mario. It's a big franchise.
Water Turtle.
Water Tortoise.
Yeah. So they had a. See, this is the thing, right? The E3 Nintendo Direct was kind of shite for me.
I didn't even watch it.
Well, most of it was Smash, And I only watched it to the end because I thought, you know what, maybe they'll do a wee thing at the end with like an announcement of another game, but they didn't. It was just Smash for 3 hours, and as someone who doesn't like Smash, I just didn't care. But last week they done their own Smash Direct. Like, don't watch this if you don't like Smash because nothing else. So I knew to avoid it.
Yeah, aye.
But I saw a video surface the next day.
Yeah, I seen the outcry from the direct more than what they actually like. I don't think.
So in a video, Luigi's just, he's minding his own business. He's known.
Good boy.
He's
Good boy, that Luigi.
And then he gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, there's no easy way of saying it, but he straight up gets fucking done in by the Reaper.
And it's not even...
It's not even pleasant. It's not even Nintendo like. He looks. He has this sheer look of horror in his eyes, and he gets fucking gaped right in the midriff. And then a big scythe.
So it's not even like a bomb blew him up, but it'll be alright. Like, no, he died, and then his soul left his body. It's like, just in case you thought, he might be alright.
He'll be alright. No, his soul left.
Yeah,
flew off to the netherworld.
So there was a R.I.P. Luigi first off.
Yeah, that's I mean, considering it was the year of Luigi a few years back, and now they've just fucking killed him.
And Luigi's Mansion's an alright game. It's not the best, but it's quite.
He's become what he was known for.
Yeah, he's
hunting ghosts. He's never a ghost. Maybe this is all a setup for Luigi's Mansion. Blah blah 3. Maybe is it?
3. Yeah.
He's a ghost.
Wait, Yvette Fielding, the Ghost Hunter's going to find. Going to find him.
Derek Agora DLC.
Abby, shut up, mate.
So
there was a bit of an outcry because Nintendo fans are, first off, weird
kids,
but
like for the most part as well. But yeah, they're very loyal. You can maybe say about Nintendo fans.
I mean, they're VLs. Let's
not beat about the bush.
So
they've not played a Call of Duty, so
clearly the game of adults is Call of Duty.
Of course, it is.
So apparently Luigi's still going to be in the game, right? But is it Luigi or is it going to be Ghost Luigi? That's what I want to know.
Full Luigi.
We should point out that it wasn't the Grim Reaper that got him.
It wasn't the Grim Reaper.
It was
what was his name?
Simon Belmont from Castlevania.
Because it's all the big thing about it was Castlevania's being introduced into Super Smash Brothers.
Well,
what better way to do it than fucking
just fucking kicking fuck out
of Luigi. Fan favourite Luigi.
Is it?
Aye. Luigi's way better than Mario. Mario's a wee fud. A wee podgy wee fud. Look at him. That's the reason. Also, Luigi wears the best colour. Green.
That's not the best colour, mate. You're just a good Catholic boy, and that's why you're saying that. That's weird though, right? Sorry to get into games here a bit, but Castlevania's a Konami game.
Yeah.
Konami don't make games anymore. They make
pachinko machines.
Aye. I wonder if Nintendo even bothered try to get permission for this.
They're just like, we're going with this. And fuck off then. Fine. I think the best Konami game, even though I'm a massive Metal Gear fan, is most definitely Sunset Riders, and I think that needs to come back. Yes.
No.
Yes.
The best Konami game is the football that they do. That is the FIFA. The other football.
Pez, man.
Did they call it the other football? That would be a good name for it.
Pez.
Pez, no raging about that.
Probably. So it's gaming got a wee bit more hardcore. Nintendo grew up a wee bit. It killed
Nintendo been getting grown. Remember they made Link a fucking werewolf, man. That's
actually did that.
It's the most grown up you can be.
Remember Sonic was a werewolf? That wasn't good. It's not Nintendo, but it wasn't good.
Any game where a cunt becomes a werewolf is good because Twilight Princess was shit.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's just stop making people werewolves. But anyway,
that's plague.
Just shite games coming through. Right. So anyway, Luigi's dead, but obviously there was some concern about this. Mm-hmm. So people reached out to Nintendo.
You're demanding answers.
Come on to fuck, what's happening here? You can't just have Simon Belmont's meant to fucking kill Dracula, no Luigi.
Aye.
It's not even like
they're quite different.
They don't even look alike. Aye. You know, it's like
one of them's got anime hair and the other one's got a big nose.
So
and a green hat.
Anime hair. Aye. See, I've only played the original Castlevanias and the NES, so there wasn't that much.
There was 4 pixels.
I played Symphony of the Night. That was a good one. Hideo Kojima having his wee shot at
Hideo, the best boy
at Castlevania. But anyway, so they tweeted Nintendo and they went, don't worry, he's alright.
Is that all they said?
That's it. Well,
he's okay.
They just said he is okay. They didn't even say alright, he is okay. He looked pretty fucking dead to me, man.
He looked like cut in half.
What a fucking dick, man. Like,
Imagine it was a guy that had nothing to do with like Smash or whatever. He's just like community manager. And it's like, what's happening, Luigi? And he's like, he's okay.
He's okay,
Like,
he's
what are you on about?
it's alright. So, Nintendo, stop killing off your characters, man. Especially,
Aye, you're no Jar Jar.
I was about to say beloved ones, but I don't even think he is. Just like
Luigi.
accepted, accepted characters.
Luigi
like,
is like, he had a year after him. I think it was 2013. Like every game just had wee like sprites of Luigi cutting about in it because they wanted to celebrate him.
You make there's sprites of him in Mario Sunshine as well.
Yeah, and Mario.
Not Mario Sunshine, sorry, Mario Odyssey is what I meant.
Yeah, so there is. There is.
I was 2013. That was the year. Why did you remember the year of Luigi?
Because I fucking love Luigi. Can you not tell how?
This does, like, the fact you knew it was 2013. This does check out that you fucking love Luigi.
I do.
Nobody else would have remembered this. Man, there was a fucking Dr. Luigi.
What?
You ever played Dr. Mario?
Aye.
There was a Dr. Luigi apparently.
What? Is it get ghost pills? We ghosts. No.
I don't know. I'm just on a page. It's a year of Luigi's game. There was Luigi's Mansion 2.
Yep.
There was New Super Luigi U, which was
Just a redone version of
Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
U. Mario Luigi Dream Team.
That was maybe heavy good.
I've never played that. But I do like the Mario RPG games. I think it's the original Mario, Super Mario RPG, where Luigi, you see him, but he's going on his own adventure. Like,
Right.
where you just bump into him every now and then. And he's got like his wee reject followers, and they're going on this pure shite. This
B team.
Aye, the B team's away, and they're going on this like pure pish quest to save nothing.
Aye. It's like that bit in Shaun of the Dead where they cross over with their exact identicals, but they're all a bit shite. Aye.
That would be the Shaun of the Dead. Half would be the shite ones, aye.
No.
They don't have Dylan Moran in their team.
They did, aye.
I fucking hate him.
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I'd rather Reece Shearsmith. I think that was his counterpart in Shaun of the Dead.
Who?
Reece Shearsmith. You ever watched League of Gentlemen?
Oh god.
Do you not like it?
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, I was growing up and like that when that was happening, and there was just so many shitty fucking sketch shows, and I'm over them, man.
Oh, fair enough.
Psychoville, bad.
Psycho was good.
Fast Show, bad.
Never watched it.
What
It
was
always
it?
comes back to British TV where I was done it.
you need to go with what you know.
True, aye.
And I don't know very much, but I will just say that the best sketch show ever is still Mr. Show, and go and watch that instead of fucking Psychoville.
Snuffbox is pretty good though as well.
I don't know if I'd call that
A sketch show?
a sketch show. It was more a nightmare. It's like stuff happened, then a sketch show started, and then the 3 second story at the beginning was wound up at the end with another 3 seconds. It's like just as you forgot what the initial story was,
Aye.
they rounded up any loose ends and then moved on. It's just like it's still one of my favourite shows ever, but I still don't know what it is or what happened.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Turbo.
Have we got much else to talk about?
Any other TV shows you've been watching?
TV
recently?
show?
You watched Disenchantment?
No. Have you?
No.
Are you gonna?
I mean, maybe.
I'll give one episode.
Put that fucking pen down, you
Fucking skiing all over the place. I'll give it a wee watch because Matt Groening, I mean, he's only done like 2 shows, but I liked both of those shows. So, stands to reason, it's probably going to be alright.
It just looks like Matt Groening's version of fucking Adventure Time, and I hate Adventure Time.
I'm not into the fact that he's already got a Bart Simpson wee goblin that's in all the pictures and all that to try and trick you into watching it. I'm not into that.
Have you got a Bender one as well?
Probably. Wee Bender goblin.
Yeah. So what have you actually been watching them?
Fuck man, nothing really.
Fuck man, is that a new Ian?
Fuck, that's delicious. No, not really anything, man. Just shiting YouTube like usual. I've been getting right into like streamer fucking drama. Like, have you heard, like, you know how like GDQ, like games done quick? Are you aware of what that is? It's just that for anyone that doesn't know, it's just like a week long stream of like people that can play games really really fast, trying to just do it for fast, and people can contribute money, and it all goes towards Doctors Without Borders. It's a really good thing, but it's become a bit shite in the past few years. Like, it was really good 2013 maybe, because it was like a small room of like maybe 20 people, and they're all pally with each other and just telling jokes, playing games. And it's become this pure corporate thing now, where it's just a massive amount of people, big auditoriums and all that, huge amounts of streamers and stuff. And with that, it's become a bit more fucking PC, and we can't be seeing any of these selected words on stream, just fucking corporate bullshit. So people don't really like it as much. And there's this guy that was trying to start up his own one, but he's also the same guy that outed Billy Mitchell. You aware who that guy is?
Of course.
Aye, Billy Mitchell,
the King of Kong,
the King of Kong, the guy that has all the records and his
he doesn't
classic,
anymore.
not anymore, but he had all these records and classic arcade games from the 80s and 90s, whatnot. But he get basically proved wrong that he was a cheating bastard by this dude that was wanting to run this new streaming, the speed running kind of live stream thing. And now he's just pure disappeared, and nobody knows where he's gone, and it's been like 6 months. And this guy's like, the event that they'd scheduled for is coming past, like that never happened because he was at the head of it all, and it's just this pure, where the fuck is this guy now?
Billy Mitchell kill him.
Maybe, maybe, man.
To see Billy Mitchell
Sued the regular show, is it?
Yeah.
Is that what you were going to say? Aye.
I wasn't going to say that, no. But
well.
What I was going to say is he actually done a stream of himself recently on actually getting over 1 million points on Donkey Kong. Legit. And like, oh look, I can do it, please reinstate my scores, and everyone's like, no, mate.
But the whole point was like, he was the whole argument, to get fucking technical or whatever, was like his records that he'd recorded from way back when were in like emulated machines, so there's an argument that it loads faster, so that pure impacts it all. And like,
I know that, but he done it legit, and they're like, oh, can you put me back in? They're like, no. You cheated, fuck off. you're done.
He seems like he's a fucking character, that
he's
guy.
A wanker, man.
Anybody that's not seen The King of Kong, go watch it, because
It's a great documentary.
He's a real fucking villain. Like, he's an actual person that exists, but he's a fucking villain.
I think we should try his hot sauce as well.
Does he have hot sauce?
Aye. It's probably
That's
shit, man,
Probably.
but he's pretty shit.
It's probably fake, eh? Like everything he does. Nah. There's a really fucking cringy like video of him, like the guy that outed him, like actually went to meet him in person.
Can we just say, wait, outed him as a cheater? Because it makes it sound like he outed him.
Outed him as a cheater. He went to meet him in person, dressed up as him to like pretend he was a fan. And take a picture with him, and Billy Mitchell does this whole like a thumbs up in every picture, like pure right elbow at 90 degrees, just this big thumbs up. And the guy that was like kind of out him was like, oh, can we also get this guy in the picture? And it was like another fucking guy that was there, and they stand next, like this guy stands next to Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell puts up his thumb, and the other guy puts up his thumb, and Billy's like, no. He puts his hand down, he's like, no. So he sneakily just brings up another thumbs up, right? It's
What
so
the-
stupid, man. He's just such like, why can you not just exist normally? Like,
He's
just seems a right fud.
what a fucking. This is another thing. I'm surprised I didn't remember this when we were talking about how shite women have it on the internet. But there's this thing where like female games streamers now,
Yeah.
and the comments are getting for people. Like there was one lassie, she just goes on, streams games, talks about them or whatever streamers do. I don't really pay attention to them, but it was one of those ones where she would take donations for like, oh, pay me whatever money and I'll play the game you want me to play, or stuff like that kind of thing. And then so this guy paid like a lot of money, and then in one of her videos she talked about her husband, or so just offhand she went, oh yeah, my husband loves this game or whatever. And then this guy was like, I can't believe you've got a husband, I've given you, like, donated all this money to you, you should have told me this information before I like gave you this money, and blah blah blah. And it's like, mate, just because you donated money, you don't own her.
Did you think you were going to get your hole?
Exactly.
Because
It's
you
like-
put some coins in a fucking slot? Like, what the fuck?
it's like why, what is it with this mentality with some people? Like,
I don't get it. It's like the entitlement
Yeah.
of like people.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
it's like, oh, I should know you had a husband, I wouldn't give you this like 50 quid or whatever. It's like, mate, it's none of your business. If you want to give her 50 quid to play fucking Mario Brothers or something, cool.
Aye.
But the only thing she owes you is playing Mario Brothers.
Aye,
That's it.
there's no asterisks above it being like, suck my dick. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't get the whole, like, people who do let's plays and things like that, I just don't get it. No, obviously there's an audience for it, but I can't imagine just sitting down there and watching someone else play a game.
Aye.
I nearly done it when I was going through the Metal Gear games. I was going to sit down and watch someone play Metal Gear Solid 4 because I couldn't be
It's
arsed.
basically a movie anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I just couldn't be arsed sitting through it myself, and then I found out there was like an hour and a half cutscene or something fucking
aye,
ridiculous, and I'm just like, I'm
See, I
not.
do it for some games where I'm like, I'm not going to play that. Like, I'm no. It's no my cup of tea. I'm too skint or something. I'll watch one as long as there's an entertaining person doing it.
Nah, I'll just wait for Steam sales, mate. Steam sales.
Steam sales, hells yeah.
Because we're just blabbering.
We are. We've covered quite a lot of ground so far. We've given you a wee bit of insight into what's coming up.
Which is a new theme tune.
A new theme tune. Fucking yes.
Oh wait, did we actually say that, or we just say a new series? I don't know.
We just said a new series. We've got many plans for what's upcoming in the new series.
Not for episode 100 yet though, because that's a bit too far away.
That's a ways away.
We've still not decided how long this series is going to be. This might be the last episode of this series, you never know.
Imagine you never heard of us again. We could be dead just like that streaming again.
Imagine we outed Billy Mitchell and then we're dead.
Imagine Billy Mitchell came after us.
That'd be pretty good, man.
I just thumbs up. He'd have to constantly bat that away.
As long as he gives us hot sauce, man, that's fine. Billy, if you're listening, I don't know why you would be. But free hot sauce to TurboDunters, P.O. Box.
Up here.
In Glasgow.
Fuck.
No, he knows too much.
No, man. I swear we'll stop propagating the fact that you're a fucking cheating bastard if you give us hot sauce. It'll be a cool guy.
I'll say a lot of things, right? I know I go on about how I hate Tories and that, but if you give me hot sauce, I'll say you're not a cheating bastard. I'll change my morals for a free bottle of hot sauce.
I'll sell myself out for that nippy sauce.
And if you let me put my thumb up in a photo with you, that's non-negotiable though.
But you're not allowed to do it.
Oh man,
imagine the restraint. You'd have to handcuff him. I think every picture of Billy Mitchell, thumbs up. Anyways, until next time,
which will hopefully be in a few weeks with Big Ross.
Yeah,
we've advertised you, Big Ross. You need to come on now.
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
So I have been Stephen McLaren.
And I've been Derek Goldie. Away and follow us on Twitter if you want. There's links and all that business.
At TurboDunters.
At TurboDunters.
Get us to 10. Get us
to 10. Double digits. I can't wait. So, bye!
Why are wango? Why are wango? Why are wango? Why are wango?